All right, there we go. There we go. What's going on, y'all? Gents Sports, aka Gent716 in the building, aka Coach J. Back here again, beautiful Thursday evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the evening hour. Of course, me, Coach Sean, and I believe Coach Mook. I believe Coach Mook after me, maybe not. Probably if not, then Coach Sean right after me. Of course, you guys know the usual details. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? What is going on? And like I said before, I kind of make a fool out of myself, put on my glasses. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, for coming late. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had to finish these Oreos. I didn't want to. I had like a bunch of freaking cookies and stuff like over my face, cookie crumbs and stuff like that. I didn't want to embarrass myself. Well, let's see what's going on. Who's in here? Who's in here? Let's see. Kimberly Harmon. We got Sweet Home Bama 24 in the building. Antonio Snell, Nick Bowling, Matt Farms. The usual suspects. As I see myself. Let's see. We got Antonio. Let's see. Zachary in the building. I think I shouted out Nick. Shout out. Let's see. JG. Let's see. We got around 34 people. Let's see. Get this thing clamoring up just a little bit even more. Let's see. Chance. One. You know what? I got a sound for that. One more chance. LaQuasia Gordon in the building. Megan in the building. Of course, we got my boy Dwight. Did I go to sleep? I ain't gonna lie to you. I only slept for like 2 hours because I had to go up. I only slept for about a couple hours, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm starting to feel it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because I had to get up and I had to, of course, I had to do my own thing. I had to kind of run around, do some errands, and of course, I had to. So I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, I'm a little sleepy, but that's why in a way, like I had to get some coffee, get some cookies. Just look at the portal. I have never missed someone, but I counted 6. No one that will ever see the field. Just roster clearing type guys. Yeah, that's one thing that I'm starting to learn from the portal already, guys. That's one thing that that's one thing I'm starting to learn about the transfer portal. It's really a lot of small school type players, right? That's entering this thing, right? A lot of MAC schools, a lot of Mountain West schools. You'll see some Power 5 schools, but they're like lower division. Like you'll see Louisville, like you see TCU. But as far as everything else goes, the only player that has kind of taken the eye for Alabama so far is Greedy, right? What's his name? Greedy Vance, quarterback from Florida State. Really more of a nickel guy too. I think around a 5'10" corner, not the biggest player in the world. But he had an interception, had four passes defended last year, had around I think over 30 tackles. So he's experienced. He's a veteran. I actually believe he started for them last year, but that's the only guy that Alabama has even offered so far. Besides that, a lot of the other transfers that have kind of been hitting the market, even the top guys, Bama hasn't even offered yet. So that kind of lets you know that Bama is just not interested in the portal cycle so far. And we'll see, right? I think at this point, I think it's kind of a good thing, and you can make an argument it could be a bad thing because obviously right now, as far as depth-wise, we're extremely young. But you can make an argument that it is a good thing at the same time, though, because that means that Kalen DeBoer and this coaching staff, they like what they're seeing from their roster. And only one guy, I believe, has left. Only one guy has left the transfer portal. One guy, and that's simply the kicker. Besides that, though, Alabama has pretty much retained the roster that they had before. Of course, they had the addition of potentially adding Caden Proctor. But, we'll see what Greedy stands to the table. We'll see if Alabama is able to kind of land them. Now, in my personal opinion, there's still some players that I would try to go after. But like I said, the quality, at least at the positions where I think Alabama wants to get at, I just don't think it's there. Right? I think they want to target a lot more players in the secondary, regardless of its safety, regardless if it's going to be somebody who's going to be primarily lined up in the slot, maybe somebody who's going to be in the box. And of course, your outside guys or your boundary guys. I just don't think there's enough quality that Alabama is simply interested in right now. And there's a couple of players, some good players that has good on the field production, even though they come from the lower level. But of course, Alabama's going to be doing their evaluation. Hold on. Of course, they're going to be doing their own stuff. Okay. So we'll see. We'll definitely kind of see. None of the names I'm familiar with. With that transfer, they passed overruled the SEC. I read that it does, but that was not from a rival source. Nah, it's not. Stupidly, but it's not. Unfortunately, it's not. Would Greedy Vance start on Alabama? Yeah, yes. I think right now he could start because I think he could start. I think he could start, honestly. I think that's a player that I think he can start. And I think that's why Alabama's targeting him, right? I think Alabama, I don't think they're going to go out and get players simply just to cover depth, right? I don't think they're going to do that. I think if they're going to go out there and get transfers, they're going to get transfers that have an opportunity to start. And I think for his case, that's a guy that can play. That's a guy that can play Husky and that can play Rover, right? He can play some of those positions. Now, Malachi Moore is playing as a Malachi Moore is playing. I think what he's playing right now is the free safety. I feel a lot more comfortable with him playing as a Husky and as a Rover potentially. But if they feel like they have no other better options, or maybe it's just they're too young back there and they're not willing to kind of risk it. Yeah, Greedy can definitely start in one of those. He can start one of those particular positions. Matter of fact, I think I like him a lot better as the Rover compared to simply as the Husky in this sort of defense. But he is one of those players that he can get on the field, right? He has a lot of on-field production. I watched a little bit of his film. He is a very, very aggressive player. Matter of fact, that's one thing I'll give Florida State a lot of credit. Their secondary was extremely aggressive. Very, very aggressive. They were not afraid of anybody. So that's one thing I'll kind of give their secondary a lot of credit. Those guys were physical. And Greedy was kind of like this pound-for-pound guy where he wasn't the biggest. He kind of was a little bit in the smaller side, but for the most part, he was kind of, he didn't really see a lot of huge time reps, but I'm telling you, man, when he got those reps, he made up for them, and he did a really, really good job. Very, very, very good job. So I would love to see Greedy. So, if Alabama is able to pick him up, then yeah, he has he adds some value for this team. Auntie Janet said we had a lot of fun. Yeah, we did have a lot of fun. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you guys didn't catch us last night, man, we were having a lot of fun, man. I'm waiting for Adam. I'm waiting for Adam. FSU was physical last season. They were physical, and yeah, they were physical. I mean, pound for pound wise, I think Florida State, they might have had the most aggressive secondary in the country, right? Maybe not the best, but they were very, very aggressive, very, very aggressive. But his coverage, keeps him up at night. Yes, Malachi Moore is great in run support, right? He's phenomenal in run support, but in terms of his coverage ability, it's just not the best. Now, again, at free safety, he has great instincts, but again, you don't want him playing in man-to-man, right? You don't want him playing in man-to-man coverage. He's not it. We've seen him for 4 years. He's not the best in that particular area. So. But that's why I think, in a way, that's why they kind of put him at free safety, because they want to kind of, utilize his instincts and kind of utilize, because he does have range too. He's a rangy player. They want to kind of utilize the range and instincts that he kind of has. That's why I think they even had him at safety in the first place. But in run support, he is very, very good. That's why, in a way, you can also make an argument that you could just play him in the box. Just have him play in the box, because you got to cover ground, especially in this defense, when you're playing it as a free. So, honestly, I actually kind of like him in the box a little bit more, only because of how good he is already in run support. He's very, very good in run support. And, not to mention that if you need to have him cover, to cover a little bit, I would rather kind of him cover the slot or have him cover, or cover a Y compared to simply just letting that dude just have like a bunch of ground to try to make up for it. Honestly, that's why I think free safety is just not his territory. But whether if it's Husky, whether if you want to just have them staying a little bit in the box, that's his area of expertise. One thing about Greedy and Malachi Moore, they're very similar in terms of their ability to pretty much play run support very well. Greedy's a very, very good run support. Not the best in man coverage. He's actually a lot better in zone compared to what he is in man. Matter of fact, when Florida State was simply just playing in cover 3 or just a cover 2 high, cover 2 high shell. I mean, Greedy Vance. I mean, that's his area of expertise, right? There are particular coverage assignments or coverage concepts that he's not great in, but for the most part, a lot of the basic coverage concepts is what Greedy, that's his area of expertise for some reason. I can't explain why, but that's just how they kind of utilized him at Florida State, and he took advantage of those opportunities. So we'll see what he can do if he does decide to come to Alabama. But that is Alabama's official. That is their official offer. He's the only one that's gotten offered so far. So, that kind of goes to tell you that they just don't like this portal cycle. They don't like this portal cycle so far, and so we'll kind of see what happens. But I think they're winning on a big name. I think they're winning on a Tarko. I think they're winning on a Holloman from Wisconsin. Or maybe just another player that if they do decide to transfer has some sort of familiarity with this coaching staff. Besides that, though, we've seen that, listen, there's been some big names, right? The Louisville defensive tackle, he's a good player. Of course, May from Pittsburgh as an edge rusher, he actually reminds me a little bit more of a Chris Braswell prototype. He hasn't been offered. So there's been some names out there, but it's just that Alabama has simply just not – they just haven't been interested. And so for Greedy to be the player that they're interested in goes to show you that, yeah, if he gets offered and he decides to transfer here, he's going to be competing for that job. And so we'll kind of see. But Alabama's youth on the team, right, their youth on the team, that also can make up ground as well, right? You look at guys like a Red Morgan, you look at guys like a Peyton Woodyard, a Drake Kirkpatrick, a Xavier Brown, right? These are players that played really well. And then even like a Brayson Hubbard was able to kind of showcase exactly what he was able to do. Now, just because players play well in the spring doesn't mean that's going to – it just doesn't even mean that it's going to translate to it's going to translate to fall camp or hell, even things them to being the starter. Because Jake Pope, and like I said, I don't know if Darius is in here, but Darius is a Georgia fan, right? Jake Pope had an excellent spring game. He had a great spring game for what he was able to do in run support, for what he was able to do in a thumper. And then you actually ended up finding out he was the third guy. He actually ended up being the third guy by the time the season starts. So, that's why spring games and scrimmages, for the most part, it gives us excited because it tells us exactly what sort of players we get, but it doesn't really fill in the entire picture. So we'll see. But will Alabama rely solely on their youth? Or do they simply just going to go ahead and go for it? And so far, Alabama hasn't gone for it in terms of getting a lot of transfer player intel. So, we'll see. He's stuck in the portal hyperspace. God, man. You guys know how I feel, man. Like I said, you already know. I just, I'm gonna hit my boy up to see if everything's good. Everything's kind of going in his end, but God, man. Yeah. By the way, guys, Coach Smoot and Coach Sean, Coach Smoot, Coach Sean, they're gonna be coming on. Looks like we're going to be doing our roundtable today, so I know you guys pretty much like that sort of activity. So definitely make sure to stay tuned. We're going to be doing the roundtable. Do you think we should target a kicker? Which kicker's in the portal? Because to be honest with you, the kickers that I've seen that's constantly in the portal are punters. Like there's a lot of punters in the portal, but I simply just haven't really seen that many kickers. I think the Georgia Tech kicker's in there, but besides that, there just hasn't been that much in there. There just hasn't been that much in there right now. So you guys know. So you guys already know how I'm doing. I'm just checking up to see if we got some new intel. Just checking up to see if we got some new intel. Okay, so it's nothing new. It's just stuff that we already know. So Kamani McLean, you officially entered his name in the portal. That was about a couple hours ago. That's not that big of a shock. Penny Bone officially entered his name in the transfer portal. If you guys don't know who he is, that's the Toledo running back. He was the MAC Offensive Player of the Year. Actually ended up going Louisville, and just like that, in less than a month, he decided to make that transfer. So he's in the portal. I don't think we really kind of care about that. Devin Booth, that's kind of a new running back for Utah State. Utah State was their leading rusher with 805 yards. He officially entered his name in the portal, and that is pretty much it. I mean, last night, like I said, we had Jay Tufali from UCLA, former 4-star defensive tackle. He put his name in the portal for UCLA. And then, of course, a lot of you guys know as well, and I think I've seen Kyle already talk about this, but Demoy Kennedy, man, the great Demoy Kennedy, the great Demoy Kennedy, right? Former 4-star, right, from Alabama, local kid. A lot of people know him. If not a 5-star, I think he was a 5-star. But went to Colorado. Talked about how their strength and conditioning program was way better than Alabama's, and just like that, in about a year, Demoy Kennedy has entered his name in the transfer portal. So, like I said, good luck to him. Like I said, I ain't gonna bash him. I'm just poking at him, making fun. That's just kind of funny. Like, a lot of players have talked about Colorado's strength and conditioning program, and those same players that have talked about the strength and conditioning program are now in the portal themselves. It's actually kind of funny. Yep, he's in the portal again, Todd. He's in that portal. He's in that portal. So Colorado has 23. I think they have like around 23 players that are now officially in the portal. Besides that, same crap. Really, the biggest transfer news was Haley Van Leek going to TCU, and the other Haley joining Miami with her sister. That's literally the biggest news of what's going on. So yeah, once again a slow day. But I guess the biggest news in terms of football is that Demoy Kennedy decided to enter the transfer portal. So I guess that is Alabama content, right? We got a former Alabama player. That is some Alabama content, I guess. But it is what it is. It is kind of what it is when it comes to that. Colorado may only win 2 games this year. I don't know. Something's happening. But yet again, we got blue blood bias coming in here and saying that it's genius that Colorado is relinquishing all of their players to the portal, because that just only means that they're just going to go out there and swap up a whole bunch of other players, which we'll see. But again, it's crazy that half their roster from last year's transfer window are now gone. Like, last year's transfer window, they're gone. They're now in the portal themselves. So I don't know. Like, we've even seen big time players go to Colorado, and just like that, they haven't really succeeded that much when they decided to transfer. So I don't know. Maybe we're crazy. Maybe we're wrong. What's up, Jay Jackson? Orange down or Kermani. Let's see. Got a notification. Nothing new. What's up, Javion? you would never build a brand or a foundation like that in Colorado. Yeah, I have to agree. I have to kind of agree with that. But I guess Colorado isn't the only program that's like that. I mean, like I said, Miami fans are hyped up to galore about Mario Cristobal and pretty much about their program and what players that they can get from the transfer portal. They're not the only fan base that's kind of like that. But yeah, this has been a boring spring window. Like I thought, like, man, like, listen, I know I'm being contradictory here because I keep saying that we just need to be patient. Wait up, pretty much next week when all the spring games kind of wrap up, that's when the chaos is going to happen. Man, when you're trying to keep up with college football, like sometimes, like I watched the 8A game like 5 times. Like I watched it 5 times, and I've just kind of gone over. And like I said, I think we all need to say what we need to say about spring game, and we'll talk about it probably a little more on the roundtable. But damn, like you want chaos. You want to see a fan base. You want to see a fan base panic. You want to make fun of them. Something's got to happen. Did you see my? No, I didn't. Hold on. Let me scroll up, Todd. Let me scroll up. See how. Let me see. Yeah, I just saw it. Yep, I read it. I just read it, Todd. Yep. But you can also make an argument that maybe that's just inexperience. Maybe that's just the inexperience of trying to really get to familiarize with the 4.25 in that sense. But no, that's a solid point. That's a very, very solid point. Because especially how easy it was to kind of look off the defenders, especially because of how easy it was to kind of look off those defenders. And you're trying to, but again, a lot of our defense in that scheme was pretty vanilla that game, like very, very vanilla. And so if you kind of add in that combination, then yeah, of course you can have some bad things that have to happen. So that could be an experience. That could be a tale of just players just not really even following their assignments even in the first place. But no, that was a very easy design, very, very easy for the offense to execute. But I have a little bit more of my other kind of concerns. But for the most part, I mean, yeah, that specific. I mean, there was other plays that I was able to see where you can just tell that we have brand new concepts in this defense that we're just trying to figure out. We're simply just trying to figure out the players. There were players that were out of position. There were players that simply they just weren't executing, and so it was a lot easier for our offense to even kind of take advantage of those opportunities against our defense. But one thing that I said, and Coach Luke, I know Coach Luke, he's been saying it a lot, was their ability to kind of make adjustments on the fly, right? Make up for those mistakes. Because I saw a couple times, man, where we simply play like where we simply were just in cover 3. We made some mistakes of just not following our assignments, and then basically on that same sort of player the offense ran, the defense kind of made up for it. So that's just kind of adjusting on the fly, right? That's something that we want to see is, can we clean up on our mistakes, right? Can we clean up on our mistakes? And that's just something that I think for both sides did a really, really good job in, right? They cleaned up a lot of their mistakes. They made their adjustments. They made their adjustments on the fly. And again, Coach Sean said it, like, this is like that spring game. That was probably the most balanced spring game we've had in a while. Solely because there was a lot of good action from both offensively and defensively. There was a lot of mistakes from both sides, offensively and defensively. And if you can see that for the spring game, if you're seeing players improve midway through the game, that's a good sign, right? Last year, offensive line got whipped. It got whipped last year, and you saw our quarterback making mistakes. Like last year was, let's be honest, it was a crap show. it was a crap till last year. But this year was a little bit more different. That's what something I can say about a little bit more different. But yeah. Yeah, exactly. That D tied up in the second half. But yeah, no. I mean, there are concerns that you definitely have to kind of take away, and that's why I keep saying, Todd. That's why we got to focus on. That's why I think we need to focus on the secondary and the transfer portal, right? We got good talent, right? We have good talent, but we do need to upgrade that depth, right? We got to get depth, and we got to get quality depth, right? Players that have had on the field production and experience, right? And again, maybe Alabama, they're just waiting for that one particular player, or maybe even a couple players that has that combination of talent and on the field production. The winner wise, again, everyone's season is damn near over, right? If you're not a playoff team, your season is basically over, right? Because bowl season, let's be honest, no one really cares about bowl season unless it's the playoffs nowadays. And you're just trying to get out of there. So it's a free for all during the winter. Springtime, like you're just trying to see where you stand, right? You're trying to see where you stand. Do I have a chance of starting? Do I have a chance to compete for the job? Coaching situations, coaches are not leaving. It's rare for coaches to really leave midway through the spring camp. Players are getting their NIL collectives at that time, so they've already kind of signed their contracts. So this is kind of a point where that we probably need to be a little bit more patient in order for chaos to really happen. But no, the winter wise, once that winter transfer portal was able to open, chaos was able to ensue because it's over. Like the season's already over for them, and it's time for them to move on. The spring window, though, again, it's probably got to be something that we just got to be more patient on. Oh, you don't like the music, Serfdom? Sipping watermelon moonshine, jeez. Listen, we can change it up. Listen, we got a problem with it. We can change it up, no problem. Oh, okay. Listen, they tripping. I ain't gonna lie to you. I needed an excuse to change. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just needed an excuse. That was the perfect excuse. All right, ladies. All right, so we got some news. We got some news, guys. It's not us, but we did get some news. Ladies and gentlemen. So Rashada has put his name in the transfer portal. So that's not, again, it's not regarding us, but that is big news. It's something. It's something at least. Rashada, you guys don't know, 5-star quarterback. That's the quarterback that literally agreed to a $10 million NIL deal from Florida. And Florida pretty much Florida kind of accepted it, but they never really paid him. And so he got out that letter of intent, decided to go to Arizona State, got Arizona State, and a year later he's gone. A year later he is now gone. So Jaden Rashada has now put his name officially in the transfer portal, and that is by, of course, Hayes Fawcett. Everyone knows the great Hayes Fawcett. So. Yep, I just saw that run. Yep, just saw it. He just entered his name in the transfer portal. Now, if we were looking for a quarterback, this would have been tremendous news if we were looking for a quarterback, maybe even a second-string quarterback. But Ty Simpson hasn't entered his name in the portal. Dylan Lonergan hasn't entered his name in the portal. Austin Mack hasn't done it. And so, Rashada for the most part, whoever's going to get him, we'll see. It'll be very interesting. It'll be very interesting to see what's going to happen with Rashada, especially because he was a 5-star. I bet Auburn goes after him. Yeah, I can see Auburn going after him. I can see Auburn going after him because let's be honest, Peyton Thorne looked disgusting. Peyton Thorne looked disgusting. Let's be honest, guys. He cannot throw the ball effectively and efficiently enough. So they need somebody that has better arm talent to go in there and kind of man the charge for him. So I can see Auburn kind of go after him. I don't know if we need any receivers. Yeah, I mean, I'm a lot more comfortable with the receiving position than I am with what I am with our secondary, especially because I'm a lot confident in the receiving core that's coming in during the fall camp. Like we've seen plenty of receivers make that transition going into fall camp compared to corners and safeties trying to make that transition during the fall camp. Right? Typically, if you're going to start as a true freshman, you need as much time and preparation as possible in order to even be a rotational player in the secondary, right? For the most part, for skill guys, skill position type players, typically, you can come in during the fall camp and still be explosive, still have it, right? That transition can be made for players that come from the fall camp if you're playing as a skill position on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm a lot more confident in guys like Amari and Rico and obviously with Brian Williams and the rest of the guys that's going to be coming in. I'm a lot more confident in that group and how they can kind of push the guys we already have here. Because I like Cole Adams, but we know what Cole Adams is. Like for the most part, he's an H, right? Cole Adams is more of a slot guy. Of course, our Z and our X. I think Z and our X. We have Jeremy Bernard. Of course, that's going to be playing. I think that's Z, and then we have Kendrick Law, of course, that can play X. Even though we all know that Kendrick Law can also play in the slot as well. But it's kind of the backup guys, right? Backup guys. Again, Cole Adams. We have Cole Adams. We have Emmanuel Henderson, who a lot of people are high on. But then you have like a Jaron Hamilton who's he's just let's be honest, he's just not it. He can prove me wrong for sure, but he's just not it right now. He's just not it, guys. So adding a lot of that young depth into the receiving core, especially with the amount of talent that we have, I think can be a lot better and more smoother transition compared to the secondary. So I agree. We don't really need receiver from the portal, but again, if you feel like you want some high quality players, if you can find a high quality player from the receiver market, then by means go ahead and go for it. But again, if you're going to get a transfer from a receiver, especially with the amount of youth that you have, expect transfers to happen in the winter, right? Expect one of your young guys, whether if it's either true freshman, to enter the portal, right? Because who knows, especially with the new coaching regime, who knows what they sold them on? Who knows what they sold them on, whether it's playing time or a chance to compete for the job, and they never really get that opportunity. So, right, there's benefits, but there's also risk by getting transfers of any sort of kind. Yeah, Hale's back for the season. Hale is back. Jalen Hale. I know he's hurt. I don't. I forgot. Did he suffer a significant injury? I keep forgetting. And it's funny because every time you watch the spring game, they mention it. Did he suffer a significant injury? Is he out for like a huge portion of the season, or is this just kind of a precautionary tale? Hale may not be back late into the season. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, because every time I think they show him with a brace on his leg. And so I forgot. I forgot if it was simply just a precautionary injury where he's going to miss spring, or if he was simply going to be out for a large portion. I keep forgetting. Busted his knee out. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, you got to work what you got to work with right now, and you're going to have a lot of young guys. You're going to have a lot of young guys, and so. I think we all can agree we were impressed with Cole Adams. But we all know Cole Adams doesn't have the high upside, right? What you see from Cole Adams is what you're going to get. We see the upside for Kendrick Law. We see the upside for even Emmanuel Henderson. Cole Adams is like a low. He's a high floor type of player, but a low ceiling type of cat. So, you want to add again, if you want to look at the transfer market and say, you know what, we don't have that much depth in terms of experience. We want to try to add more. We want to try to add that experience, but we also want to see if we can add some very similar quality to the players that we have here. Then we could take a chance. Take a chance. Yeah. So everybody's tripping out. Everybody's tripping out about the Cole Adams thing. I'm sorry, not the Cole Adams, about the Jaden Rashada. Everyone's tripping out about that. I didn't even know Arizona State had fans. Well, no, let me stop. They got fans, but I didn't even know they were as active on Twitter, right? Arizona State, the party school. I'm antsy about our online death. Yeah, I'm antsy about that too. I'm a little antsy about it. I am a little antsy about our all offensive line death. I'm a little antsy about it because, like, at right tackle, you have a like you got Formby, you have McVay, you have Olis, you have Rock Montgomery, who can slide in and play center sometimes as well. Parker Brailsford is a player that we kind of have to see what kind of happens. But yeah, I'm a little antsy on the depth too. I'm not gonna lie to you. One dude goes down, then that literally could just mess up not just the entire continuity with the starting line, but that can mess up the entire unit. I am a little antsy about it. Offensive line depth and corner starter, maybe safety too. Yeah. Safety is a little concerning, but like I said before, guys, don't be surprised if Peyton Woodard starts. Don't be shocked. Don't be surprised if one of our young true freshmen start. And it just seems like this is going to be the year where you're probably going to see 3 to 4 freshmen on the defensive side of the ball get massive playing time, right? Sabin Brown, Peyton Woodard, potentially a Red Morgan. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked. Hell, I'm not gonna lie to you. If Justin Oak, if he continues his progression as a linebacker, if Deontay Lawson or Jahad Campbell goes down, don't be surprised if he takes advantage of the opportunity, right? Because Jahad Campbell wasn't a true freshman, but Jahad Campbell took advantage of advantage of the situation, right? One linebacker played bad, he was able to kind of step into the take and take advantage of it, and so. Don't be surprised if we see a lot of our true freshmen get massive playing time. And like I said, they're going to have their downs, especially because look, Caleb Downs started as a true freshman. How many games did it take Caleb Downs in order for him to become the player that he is right now? He took his lumps, especially against Texas. He took massive lumps against Texas. Matter of fact, he got took into school, man, like how Floyd Money Mayweather took Canelo Alvarez. Remember that? Floyd Money Mayweather, he beat the brakes out of Canelo Alvarez. But sometimes it takes an ass whooping in order for you to learn and to become better. It takes discipline, and that's why right now, for at least for us, I truly do believe we're gonna have a lot of young guys play. They're gonna take their lumps, but that could be for the better. That could be for the better. And we got Wisconsin early. We have Georgia early. And they're gonna. I'm telling you, they're gonna take their lumps. And but at the end of the day, the goal is to win a national championship. And now the goalposts. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the goalposts, you can make an argument, has changed a little bit in terms of fan expectation. Because instead of losing a game now where that could potentially end the season, you can legit lose 3 games and you can still get into the playoffs. And at the end of the day, that's the goal. The goal is to get into the playoffs, because once you're in the playoffs, it doesn't matter what your seeding is. The goal is to win a national championship. And so, yeah, I mean, I've talked about this a lot, but maybe it's a little bit better to have a lot of your young guys play, experience their lumps, and as long as they can learn and grow from it, by the time we're 10-2 or 9-3, we get into the playoffs, that may be beneficial for us. That may be extremely beneficial for us, and if not this season, then definitely for the future. Right. Yeah. Yep. That's a good point, Run for it. That's a good point. Maybe we'll have enough offense to kind of compensate for it. Yeah, Cynthia, that's why I said, this is why I keep saying, I think Alabama's offense is going to be elite and Alabama's defense is pretty much going to be average, because last year our defense was extremely good. Like, that was the first time, probably since 2017, where the secondary was amazing. Even though they did take their lump early, the secondary was amazing. You had 3 first-round picks on it. Defensive line was kind of above average. Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell are, day 1 and day 2 guys. Linebackers wise had to take their lumps, but at the end of the day, we kind of got that figured out towards the end of the year. But even with that defense, we ranked. We were outside of the top 15 in defense in total yards. We were outside the top 15 in defense. So again, if we were outside of the top 15 with that defense last year, what is it probably going to be like this year when you're going to have a lot of inexperience, and you're not going to have as much depth like you did last year? You're going to take your lumps. You're going to take your lumps, and so I get it. For the most part, people love the promise and they love the talent, and a lot of our young guys have progressed a lot, faster than what we can potentially, what we anticipated. But at the end of the day, like, we gotta take a look at reality. Like, it is rare for a team with a bunch of youngsters playing for them to be effective immediately, especially them matching the level that our defense did last year. Because Kevin Steele is a hell of a defensive coordinator, right? We can crap on him for what he did against Michigan that last game. Kevin Steele brought the Bama defensive identity back to the team last year. He brought that identity, right? He did bring back that identity. So, now all of a sudden you have to scrap everything up a little bit. You got a brand new coaching staff defensively. You have a brand new coaching staff offensively. And now you're trying to figure out, okay, well, which can translate better? And it could be both. That's it's a very, very high and rare possibility, but it still is a possibility. So my expectation is that we're going to take our lumps somewhere. I don't think it's going to be offensively, because you don't want it to be offensively. Last year, we took our lumps offensively. If we have to take our lumps again with a elite offensive-minded head coach and elite offensive coaching staff, that's a problem. You can't have two sides taking their lumps, because all of a sudden, that's what equals to 3 lost seasons, 4 lost seasons, 5 lost seasons. If both sides struggle, then that's literally called a rebuild. That's called a rebuild. That's not retooling, guys. That's a rebuild, and that's literally now you're restarting over the button in order for you to figure out which players are going to be in the right place for the future. Right? We are still in that win mentality now. So if any side's going to take their lumps, I expect it to be the defensive side of the ball, not the offensive side of the ball, especially when we have a Heisman-like quarterback running the show. So that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting a top 30, give me top 40 words, right? If we have an elite offense, or at least a top 20 offensive unit, especially with our pass game being high, and our defense, let's say, is top 30, top 40, as long as we're 9-3 or 10-2 or whatever the hell our record is, as long as we get inside the playoffs, that's all I care about. That's all I care about. Would it be great? Would it be great to win an SEC championship? Yes. Would it be great to go undefeated in the regular season? Absolutely. Would it be great to go undefeated and be the first team in college football history to go 16-0? Yeah, it would be. It would be a great accomplishment. It would be history, especially with the new coaching staff. It's literally the perfect season for this team. But my expectation is that we're probably going to lose a couple games. We're probably going to go 10-2 in the regular season, And whether or not we even make it to an NFC championship, I honestly don't care. Just get me in the postseason. I don't care if we're the 12th seed. I don't care if we're 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th, 5, 4. I don't care what we're in. Just get us in the playoffs, and the rest of it will take care of itself. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. Because imagine this, ladies and gentlemen. We go undefeated. We win the SEC championship game. We get a bye week, and then we lose in the second round of the playoff. We lose in the round of 6. I don't care. So real that sucks. I would rather go 10-2 and just taking our chance and making it to a championship than having an undefeated regular season where everything is no. I would rather us take our lumps now, and then by the time we get into the postseason, everything will be straightened out hopefully for us. I'm becoming a lot more comfortable with this. But yeah, me too, Antoine. Me too. Matter of fact, like I said, they're meeting my expectations. Offensively, we look great. James Brockermeyer, better than I anticipated. Interior offensive line play, like I said in the winter, I said this is the best interior offensive line in the country. Best interior offensive line in the country, and that stands still, guys. Trust me, I watched Ohio State spring game when they were pillow talking. I watched Ole Miss's spring game when they're swallowing glizzies, right? I watched Auburn's spring game, and that was just terrible. That was a terrible spring game. Clemson's spring game was terrible. I'm watching a lot of these spring games, guys, and I'm telling you, no offensive line is more prepared and more ready than Alabama's. Even I think right tackle is squared up with right now when you can have Wukin Formby kind of over there, right? Left tackle, Caden Proctor is pretty much he's going to be practicing during fall camp, and I'm pretty sure he's going to take that job back again. But if he doesn't take the job back, then that can be concerning because I've sold out on Pritchett. I don't think Pritchett's going to be the guy. And I think we're going to have too much, just guys that are simply just not going to be ready to play a left tackle spot. The only person that's going to play is probably appears to be Proctor. So if we can get Proctor squared up at left tackle, right tackle, you can get a Formby. You can get Formby. Your guards, your centers, that's already squared up. Boom. Your offensive line is set and ready to go. I can accept the Georgia loss. I don't see us just losing to anybody else, though. Yeah, honestly, if we lose to Georgia, I'm not going to be upset. I will not be upset at all if we lose to Georgia. Now, I'll be upset if we lose to Wisconsin because that's a game that, regardless of what you have, that Wisconsin has suffered way more than Alabama has, and it's not even close. Bama should win that game. Now, if you lose to Georgia, that's Georgia. And you lose to them, so what? You have a chance to play them in the SEC championship game, or you have a chance to play them in the playoffs. You lose to them, it stings, but so what? You move on, right? In terms of other losses that I can see, like I said, I think Oklahoma. That's a great chance of that team beating us. That's a great chance of them beating us, especially when we're going to be on the road. That's 100,000 folks. It's literally a week before the Iron Bowl game. And that's literally meant for a trap game. Well, I think we'll smoke Tennessee. LSU could potentially be an upset. That could be an upset, especially when you're playing in Baton Rouge. But regardless of what happens, you just got to get inside the playoffs. That's got to be the identity, right? Is figuring out a way for you to get inside the playoffs. That's the best way. I hope Alabama be half these teams. No, they will. I'm confident in that. I'm confident. Let me take a look at Alabama's schedule. Let me take a look at their schedule. I'm trying to figure out what are some potential losses. I forgot about Missouri. Yeah. Drinkwitz, Missouri's offense is going to be good, but their defense is going to be shot to death. Their defense is going to be shot to hell. And I don't know, losing Cody Schrader that's a big loss. They do got Theo Reese. They got Theo and they have Luther. They have their quarterback back, but that's pretty much about it. But even then, like we got that game at home, and I think that can pretty much be like that can be like a 2:30 game. Like, I mean, yeah, for the most part, like I see like worst case scenario is 2 losses. Honestly, that's fine though. Like I said, I can deal with 10-2. 10-2 gets us in the playoffs. 10-2 gets us in the playoffs. So now 9-3, you're pushing it. You're pushing it now if you're 9-3 because that's top 15, top 16, 17 area. Like you're pushing it if you're there. Now you need help to get in. But if you finish off the season 10-2, you're good to go. Bama 12-0, 2024. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I like the confidence. Hell, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is something I didn't even know. The SEC championship or conference championship game, you don't have to play in those games. I never knew that. You don't have to play in that game. That is not a guarantee. Like that's not a requirement. If you want to, you could legit reject to play in that game. You don't have to play in it. Now, yeah, understandably so. Yeah, it's almost damn near guaranteed that you need it to get a conference champ. Like it's damn near guaranteed, especially if you wanted like a higher seeding running. But like you don't have to play in the SEC championship game. You don't have to be in there. So if you want to, you could literally be undefeated in the regular season. You don't have to play in it. Now, yes, you want to get the higher seeding because it's damn near a requirement that you have to win the conference championship. But if you simply just want to say, you know what, we're banged up, we're too banged up, we're not going to risk playing Georgia, and we can legit play this team, or we can legit play this team again in the playoffs. We're just going to sit it out and whatever, it is what it is. You can do that. I never knew that. Missouri doesn't even have a running back from last year. Yeah, Cody Schrader is gone. He's gone. LSU's going to be a lot better this year. LSU is going to be a lot better this year. I agree with that. But defensively, they're going to be a lot better. They're going to be a lot better. They're going to be a lot better defensively. Offensively, like I said, they're going to take their lumps. But defensively, they're going to be a way better team than what they were last year for sure. How many spots do the playoffs have? 12 teams. So you said how many spots does the SEC get in the playoffs? Unlimited, literally unlimited. Seriously, I'm not even joking about that. So let's say, realistically, right? Because not every team is going to get in, for the SEC is going to get in the playoffs. So there's the highest that they can go is 6 teams. That's the highest they can go is 6 teams. And I'm thinking probably Bama, Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri, Georgia, LSU. But the highest that they can go is 6 teams, and that's 6 teams. And the only reason why I say that is because the SEC they're going to be number 1. They're probably going to be number 1 regarding strength of conference this year, especially with Texas and Oklahoma joining. Right, it's way better than Washington, USC, and UCLA joining the Big Ten Conference. That doesn't strengthen the conference. As a matter of fact, I think it helps weakens it, especially with the amount of turmoil that happened. So strength of conference, strength of record, that's all going to matter. I think they're going to get they're going to get the approval over a lot of these other conferences. Ole Miss, I forgot about Ole Miss. Damn it, I forgot about the Glizzy Gobblers. Yeah, Ole Miss is that's another team that you didn't even include in there. But realistically speaking, if I had to take a guess this year, probably 4 SEC teams, right? So realistically speaking, Bama, Georgia. We'll see about Ole Miss. Yes, they got a lot of transfers that are coming in for them, and Ole Miss, they've been successful. But their schedule is pretty damn tough. Ole Miss has a pretty damn tough schedule. They have a pretty damn tough schedule. So you can include Ole Miss in there if you want. But yeah, I think realistically speaking, you'll have 4 teams from the SEC. I think you'll have 3 teams from the Big Ten Conference. You'll have one, of course, you'll have the guaranteed team from the Big 12. That's 8. You'll have, you might have a couple teams from the ACC Conference. You may have a couple teams. And honestly, if Miami doesn't make the playoff, they need to fire Mario Cristobal with that joke of a schedule that they have. That is one of the crappiest schedules I've ever seen any Power 5 team have in my lifetime. That is the easiest schedule ever made. And they should get in. But the ACC could have a couple teams. You'll have the one non-Power 5 team. They're automatically going to get in. It's the highest non-Power 5 school. They'll get in. And then the rest of it, you can just guess. Like, you can kind of guess what's kind of going on there. But, realistically speaking, you're going to see a lot of teams probably that's never even had a chance of competing get an opportunity to get in there. And I think in a way that does make college football fun. It is the fact that, yes, even though rivalry games simply just doesn't really matter anymore, there's a chance that you can literally play Auburn twice. There's a big chance that Michigan and Ohio State, you can literally have the game and then and then they play each other in the Big Ten Conference Championship game the following week. And then they have a chance to play against each other in the playoffs. So, you have literally mitigated rivalry games. Congratulations. You have mitigated anything about the regular season being meaningful. But I guess the fun part about this season is the fact that the playoffs in bowl season is going to be a lot more fun, right? Bowl season is going to be a lot more fun. Postseason play will be a lot more fun. It's definitely something that we can look forward to, right? The season's not over now just because you lost a game. You lost a game or two, your season's not over. And that does create a lot more chaos and a lot more, in a way, I think a lot more havoc in a way. That's going to push up those ratings and push up a lot more controversy in social media standing. I'm convinced we have LSU fans in the chat. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Do we have an Australian punter or what? Yeah, James Burnup. He's Australian. James Burnup is Australian. You got to have a rugby punter. We lost 2 games in 22, and we were still 5th in the country. Exactly. Like 10-2 is 10-2 is going to get you in. Like that's especially if you're in the SEC conference. 10-2 is getting you in. That's why I keep saying, people, we go 10-2, and if we don't get inside the SEC, and if we don't get inside the SEC conference championship, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'll still celebrate it because guess what? While Georgia and I'm just assuming if Oklahoma or Texas or whoever's playing that championship, they beat the crap out of each other, we get to sit back. We get to sit back, man, with our hands behind our heads. We get to kick up, with our hot cocoa, man, and we get to watch these fools play. It doesn't hurt me that I'm not playing in that game. I'm in the playoff. What about year 2? What do you think we should go? Oh, what do you think we could go? So if I had to guess, if you're, so year 2, my guess would probably be 11. My guess would be 11-1 in the regular season. That's my guess. I think next year will be a lot better team. And that's if we can retain around 80% of our coaching staff, especially with the amount of youth that we have in this team that does play, they're going to be a lot better and a lot more experienced. Right? A lot better, a lot more experience. Plus, I think that the winter portal will be way better than the spring portal. I think the winter portal is a great opportunity, especially because there's more chaos during that time frame for Kalen DeBoer to truly get guys that he truly wants, right? Kalen DeBoer, he couldn't take advantage of the winter period. Why? Because he left Washington, right? He was leaving Washington at that time period. He just came off of losing a national championship. He's going through a big transition. Now, all of a sudden, though, he gets to have his first official recruiting class. All right, so he gets to pick the litter of his guys that he wants chosen. Then he has the opportunity now to all of a sudden choose the litter of getting those guys from those guys in that winter quarter period. And then, of course, the players that are here now, which I think there will be a lot of young guys that's going to compete, they're going to be a lot better. And I think that next year, that this will be a way, way better transition from this year to next year. What's up, Coach Sean?
What's up, Coach Jay? How you doing, man? You good?
All right, man. Talking ball and predictions. Talking ball and making predictions.
Yeah, I see you. I hear you. I'm tapping in with you now. You know what I mean? Listening to you.
Yep.
How your day been, brother?
It's been all right, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. We stayed up last night, damn near to like 2:00 in the morning. As soon as you got off, man, we stayed up to like around 2:00 in the morning, man. We just went over life. We found out a lot. Adam's a cat guy, so we got him in there. Yep, he got cats beating him up. So we had those sort of discussions.
Man.
But Coach, I wanted you to ask the question since we're on that topic a little bit. What do you think about Bama going? Like, what do you think about Bama's? If we go 10-2, does that hurt Bama in a way? Because even though you may not get into the SEC Conference Championship game, that does. I mean, it's a big possibility that still qualifies you in the playoff. And so, like, does that kind of take away from the competitiveness of college football in a way for you?
In a way, it does, because you don't have to win your conference. I mean, the conference, from what I imagine, the conference gives you a bye, right? Is that it? Is it? Am I right?
Yeah, it gives you a bye.
It gives you a bye.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually think it helps. I know that sounds really crazy. It helps not to go to the SEC championship because you don't have to exert that extra energy playing a team that's of like talent, right? You can actually take that 1 week off to rest before you hop right back into the playoffs. So yeah, I mean, if you want that first round bye, just so long as we're not waiting a whole month to play like we did against Michigan, I'm okay either way. But I do think it helps not to play that game. It kind of sucks to say that, but yeah, I think you were right what you just said, Coach Jay. In the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, and hell, even 9-3 can get you in. You're pushing it, but you can get in there. I'm very curious. I'm very curious because I don't know, like my expectations for like this year. Like I know a lot of people they expect 11-1, undefeated, 12-0, typical Alabama expectations. But it's like after kind of learning like exactly what happens in a way. Like before, when you lost the game, the season was over. Like you didn't really give a crap about it. But that, in a way, kind of strengthened how valuable the regular season actually was and how valuable rivalry games are. Because Coach Sean, there's a great chance, and this literally, it probably won't happen this year, but somewhere down the line, it legit could happen. There's a great chance we could play Auburn twice.
Yeah.
And so. It's called the Iron Bowl. You win that game, and that's supposed to be that's your 365 celebration. But now, if you win that game, it's kind of like who cares? The real Iron Bowl is if Auburn is a good team, that's the real Iron Bowl is taking the playoff where you can host.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. Coach Jay is 1,000% correct. It just kind of sucks because, like I said, in the grand scheme of things. You want to win the Iron Bowl, right? You want to beat Georgia or whoever in the SEC championship, right? But in the grand scheme of things, the playoffs is really what matter. That's horrible to say that because without getting into the playoff and doing something in the playoff, you won't get the national championship. It's almost like you have to ask yourself what's more important, the SEC championship, beating Auburn, or winning a national championship. With this playoff, they have put emphasis on the national championship and really not the regular season.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Even though I don't think we're gonna experience it this year because Auburn is a god-awful program. Michigan, Ohio State, that's happening because they don't have conference champions. They don't have like those divisions anymore. It's simply just the first two's gonna play against each other, and so there's a big possibility. Ohio State and Michigan plays 3 times. And they literally can play each other back to back. And that just takes away from the tradition and the love of what we have from the sport. It's just I don't know. It's
I think they're gonna have to fix it, Coach Jay, some type of way, because if they don't, it's gonna definitely take away from some games. It's gonna take away from some, because people are gonna be gunning for that playoff spot. They want that playoff spot. They want that true national champion. And it's just gonna be interesting to see, man. I really don't know how the hell it's gonna go. It's gonna be very, very interesting going into this next season. And man, I just really, really want to see where everybody's head is and see how this affects people in the future.
Yeah. But Coach, I know you want to get to some of your topics. I know you want to get some of your topics. I ain't gonna tell you back. We don't wait for Coach Moops to do our round table.
Yeah, that'll work, bro. I'm just gonna go. I had a couple people asking me about my true feelings for the scrimmage game, and I really just went back and watched it again to make sure I was not giving people lies. And so I just went back and watched it again for position group, and I really, really, really gave an assessment of and it's just a glorified scrimmage, man. That's all it is right now. Mm-hmm. This doesn't affect what my outlook of the future or anything like that. This is just strictly for this scrimmage game. They asked for it, so I'm gonna try to give it to them in my humble opinion.
All right. Yep.
I appreciate you, Coach Jay. Always love, bro. For sure.
I'm just gonna be chilling. Make sure.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, kick back and check me out, Coach Jay. Mm-hmm. So check it out. Here's my thing, Coach Jay. I want you to check me out on this now. I had to write this down because I can't remember all this. So here's the deal. People was hitting me and asked me for my honest assessment. First of all, let me say what's up to the people. I apologize for that, my fine friends. I apologize for that. Let me go right here, Coach Jay. Let me say what's up to the broskies and the sisses. Adam Lamperillo, what's up with you, bro? How you doing, man? Roll tide to you. I couldn't hear you. What you said?
That Adam?
Yeah. I was just speaking to him. Shout out to Adam Lamperillo, man. Shout out to my sis, Kimberly Harmon. What's up, Kimberly? I'm so glad you're in here. Shout out to Auntie Janet. Oh, that's his sound effect?
That's the sound effect.
I like that. I like Adam. Shout out to Auntie Janet, who is Janet Forsyth. Janet Forsyth, right? Shout out to you, Janet. Shout out to you, Kimberly. Adam Watson, what's up, bro? Brandon Wilkins, what's up with you, brother? Demetrius Dugans is in the house. Jada, what's up, Jada? Todd, what's up, bro? Hacker Music, Kareem Hood 40, Matthew Newton, all the broskies is in here. Betsy, what's up with you? How you feeling? Matt Farms is in the house. Tink, what up, bro? The broski, that's my broski. Tink, how you doing, man? Good to see you, boy. Antoine Currington, Twan is in the house doing this thing with the drip on, doing this thing. Brian Russell, what's up with you, bro? How you feeling? How you doing? Hope everything going good for you, bro. Jimmy Baker is in the house, man. Cynthia Middleton, my partner, Cynthia Middleton is in the house. If Cynthia's here, I got to get it cracking. Shout out to Cynthia and her beautiful family. Shout out to you, Cynthia. Man, listen, Carla M. Bailey is in the house. If Carla and Cynthia and Janet is in here, man, listen, it's a wrap. We got to get it cracking, Coach Jay. Chris Vincent is in the house, man. Deborah Rothschild is in the house. My broski Tink. Nicole Covington is in the house. If Nicole is in here too, you know we got to get it cracking, man. Shout out to you, Nicole. Good to see you, girl. Thank you for coming, man. Chris from New Jersey, one of the best callers I've heard, is here. Matthew Newton, as I said. Mickey Pate is in the house. What's up, Mickey? How you doing, bro? Dare D is in the house. What's up, Dare D? Get Box is in the house. Marquita, my neighbor, Coach Jay, is in the house. If Marquita's here, we got
is that Marquita?
Yeah. You got a sound effect?
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Oh, I gotta hear hers, cuz. Bring it. Let me hear it. Let me see what Marquita cracking with.
Oh, I was gonna play the wrong one. Hold on. I gotta find it. Where's that? There it is.
Oh, BBD. Poison. Oh, Marquita, he got you covered right there, man. Shout out to Marquita, man. Coach Al, my brother right there. Shout out to Coach Al, man. Love Coach Al's takes as usual. Todd, my broski from another Moski. Patriot Life is in the house. Rob, what's the business, my brother? That's my broski right there. Chance Fawcett is in the house. Zachary Wiggles is in the house. Wilgis is in the house. Who else we got, man? John M is in the house. What's up, John? Roll Tide, bro. Nick Bowling is in the house. Peanut, Roll Tide is in the house. Tay McClendon is in the house. Joanne Carey is in the house. Brandon Wilkins is in the house. Carla Hinton is in the house, and I love you back, Carla. Much love to you. Thank you. K Spray is in the house. What's up, K Spray? Anthony Harris is here. Poetic Injustice, Roll Tide to you, brother. How you feeling? How you doing, man? Did I miss anybody? King Mario is in the house. Refried Confusion is in the house. Mike G is in the house, man. Who else we got? LaQuasia, my decoy queen. What's up, LaQuasia? Beautiful family, LaQuasia got. Shout out to you, LaQuasia, man. You already know Patriot Life. Much love, my brother. Antonio Snell is in the house, man. Drewski is here. What's up, Drewski? Javian Smith is in the house. Ty Does Motto is in the house. Crimson Dad 813 is here, right? We good now, man. So listen, guys, Sweet Home Bama 24 is here. Roll Tide to you all. So listen real quick, Coach J. This is what I did. I really went back and watched this scrimmage game. You know, I really put my eyeballs on it, man. And I really wanted to know, you know, people want to know what my honest assessment, man. And I tried to give it, you know, I really wanted to go back and watch it by position group. You know what I mean? By position group. I really wanted to watch these guys as a secondary. My little DVR come in handy, man. So here's the deal. Here's what I think, man. Here's my honest assessment. But before I give it, remember, this is just a glorified scrimmage. I mean, I hate to call it that, but that's really what it is. This has no bearing on the season. What's up, Jonathan Hurst? How you doing, man? This is just strictly for this scrimmage game, right? And I really want to understand. I wanted to know Coach DeBoer's background. I wanted to implement that, and I wanted to give my honest assessment. Now, this somebody else may give you somebody different. This is just mine. What's up, Bear? How you doing, boy? Ansley in the house. Run the Table Sports TV. You already know what it is, Bear. Much love, bro. B-Ham is in the house. Man, listen. So here's what I think, guys, for whatever it's worth. When I watch this team, right, and it's just for spring, right? Some of these guys might not even be starting again by the time the fall get here and competition really ramp up. I wanted to make sure I understood Coach DeBoer as an offensive coach. And from what I see, and I'm an offensive guy, man, so I know what I look for. I talked Patriot Life's head off, and I told him I'm sorry. He said it was okay, right? EJ Riggins, what's up with you, bro? How you feeling? No, EJ, I was talking to my brother right there running the Table Sports TV. My brother Bear got the voice of an angel. You feel me? He from Ensley High School, the old school Ensley, when Ensley was Ensley, right? You know what I'm saying? That was talking to him. He's straight from the B-Ham.
Coach, you gotta let me know if Jenny comes in here. I got hers.
Which one?
Jenny.
Okay, got you. Jenny, come here. I'll definitely. You see her? Please interrupt me. Please. So at Washington, Coach Jay, this is what Washington, Coach DeBoer, as we all know, the man ran inside zone 1 billion times, right? This is a whole fact. I went back and I watched a couple of the games. He ran inside zone to death, man, right? He really did. But here's the good news before I give you my assessment. Here's the good news. Alabama's offense has not had this type of thing happen, at least since Mike Locksley was here or Sark was here, one of those guys, right? I saw pulling. I saw power. I saw an offensive gap scheme. I saw counter. I even saw a little trap.
Yeah, trap.
Right? That's something we did not do. Jay Jackson, JJ, what up with you, bro? Giving my assessment of the spring game, my final assessment, my real assessment. No fandom included. I was just telling the people I saw pulling. I saw power. Coach Jay knows this. Coach Jay was the one who put me on this penny pool and really watched for it. And I really started watching for it with Coach DeBoer. I saw gap scheme offense. I saw counter. I saw a little trap with our offensive line. We weren't just so pass happy just to be pass happy. Now, I understand the past why we were pass happy. We had Bryce Young. I get it, right? So yes, we threw it all over the yard, but we threw it all over the yard with purpose. What's up, Andrea Burkham? How you doing? Roll Tide to you, Andrea. So when I look back even farther, when he was at Indiana, Penix ran the ball a lot. You would have thought he was Jalen Milroe at Indiana, but when he got to Washington, he threw it all over the place. So this is a coach that clearly understands principles of offense, man. I really did like the fact that he spoke about the wide receivers need to be better, and I understood what he was saying. To give you a quick example of what I'm talking about the wide receivers, and this has been missing to me since Jameson Williams was at Alabama. Jameson Williams said, and this is his words, he said, yes, Ohio State taught me how to play wide receiver, but Alabama taught me how to get open. What does that mean, Coach Sean? What it means is this. Our wide receivers are good, they're talented, but they got to work on how to get open at the top of their route. What do you mean by top of the route, Coach Sean? What I mean by the top of the route is, for all those that did not play football, let's just say you have a out route. No, let's go a dig. It's called a DIG. Dig route. What a dig route is called a deep end. That's what a dig is, pretty much, in my mind. It's just a run 8 to 10 yards and cut in really hard, right? Don't round it like a U. It's like an L. You got to come out your break and explode to the middle of the field, right? It's a dig route. What he mean by gets open at the top of your route, that means is when you explode and come out of your break to the middle of the field, where's the defensive back? You have to learn how to get open, work yourself open. And our wide receivers don't do that right now. What that means is when you come out of your break, is the defensive back behind you? Is he on the side of you? Where's he at? Where's the defensive back? You got to learn how to set him up, and you got to learn how to work yourself open at the top part of the route. Sure, quarterbacks can throw you open, right? But what made Devontae Smith better? What made Jameson Williams? These guys knew how to take something like a simple dig. When they break inside, they knew what a defensive back was and work themselves into space, work themselves into getting open. You have to use leverage to get open, and our wide receivers don't do that. They'll run the route, but they have to get better at the top of the route. That's what I mean by the top of the route. In my mind, it's just my eyeballs. Our wide receivers have to get better by the top of the route. Simple things like that has got to be better. My honest assessment, just breaking it down really quickly, our offense, pre-snap motion, man, is always good. In my mind, pre-snap motion always helps these quarterbacks. We hadn't always done that in the past, right? We hadn't always lined up and disguised what we're going to do. We kind of just showed our hand, and if you can stop us, right? If you can't,
running the same routes.
Running the same routes. Yeah, that's 100% fact, Coach Jay. So pre-snap motion, I've seen a lot of this. The route tree was wide open. A lot of edge and east to west stuff. A lot of jet sweeps, fly sweeps, whatever you want to call them. Everybody got a different name for them, right? A lot of split zone. I seen Jam and Justice in the backfield at the same time. You know what I mean? Split zone, inside, outside zone, tight ends coming across, getting hit behind the formation, hitting these guys. I love that, right? Now the short route will bore you to death, but at the same time, it tells me what he's doing. I actually see a structure and a fundamental structure of what Coach DeBoer is trying to do, man. Right? They ran pistol, believe it or not. They actually moved the running back on each side of the formation to run misdirection. Now, I hadn't seen these things in a long time at Alabama. Loxley did some of it. Lane did some of it. Sark did a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Sark did a lot of it, right, Coach Jay? A lot of motion. Sark did a lot of it, man. So I seen times when Kendrick Law was playing the X. I seen times when Jeremy Bernard was playing the X. I seen times when Kobe was playing on the inside, right? So what that tells me is each one of the wide receivers is learning all the wide receiver spots. I don't know if we've done that in years, right? What it tells me is the X and the Y, the Z, everybody are all learning each other's plays, right? Routes for each play. I'm not sure. I've always seen us do that since, we had Devontae and all these guys. I saw several different situations, vice versa too. I seen A lot of jet sweeps, a lot of things coming to the outside, right? A lot of things to try to open up the defense. The pass pro was good. Quick game, deep shots, run game, jet sweeps, fly sweeps, a lot of getting to the edge. The bright spot for me on that offense was our interior three. What do you mean by interior three, Coach Sean? Tyler Booker, James Brockermeyer, Jaden Roberts. With this offense that Kalen DeBoer runs, you got to have a great interior from the center to out. You got to have a great interior to run counter and be effective, right? Our center three were outstanding. Now, I really went back and I watched Wilkin. I really went back and I watched Elijah. And those guys both had some problems. Now, the left tackle may have had a little bit more, right? But both of those guys had their issues, right? And I think we got to get better in the offensive line. I'll tell you something else I noticed about the defense. Moving to the defense really quickly. Even front, no more of that facing the wide receiver, funneling the wide receiver. We did a lot of this vision coverage stuff, I noticed. Right now, I'm not the defensive guy, but certain basic stuff I noticed. This vision coverage, right? Keeping your eyes on the quarterback, watching his eyes where he throw the ball, right? That type of stuff you got to really play together and understand, because a great quarterback can really beat you up with that if you make the wrong decision, right? But the more you play together and the more you learn each other, the chemistry will be well, and these guys will get better. I sort of really think we need more depth at the middle linebacker spot, right? I noticed that Jihad obviously wasn't out there. Justin Jefferson, whenever they ran things to the outside, he was outstanding. He had the foot speed practically to run with anybody.
Yeah, they ran. But when they ran, washed.
Yes, Coach J. That's Coach J just told you. He just took what I was about to say. Coach J just said. That tells you he already knew what I was going to say because he watched it for himself. When they ran off tackle, off guard, he was nowhere to be found, man. I really do think if we lose Jihad Campbell, we're going to be in some trouble. Even Deontay Lawson, to me, looked like he was gimping. He got caught a lot of times. He was getting knocked off the ball. He didn't play bad, but he didn't play like regular Deontay. And I know it's just a spring, but I'm wondering, is he completely healthy himself? The defensive front, Damon Payne, 44, played well. It wouldn't shock me if this kid started getting a lot of reps with the first team. It wouldn't shock me at all. Great hands, great leverage. Tim Keenan did his thing. Tim is solid. You know, he's not outstanding. He's not bad. He's just very, very solid. Mm-hmm. Tim is solid in whatever he done. He's definitely going to be a starter. James Smith played well. Latham, he played well, especially on down and distance downs. LT Overton played exceptionally well. To be a big guy, 260-something, 270 pounds. Those guys are just young, right? The key to me is Tim Smith. Tim Smith, to me, when I watched him every play, it seemed like his motor is up and down, up and down.
That's pretty much been the 4 years that he's been here. It's like the ceiling is high, but his floor is like his floor is like in the middle. It's like, damn, like I need you to meet. Yes. You got it. You just gotta, I don't know. It's like that. It's something about the motor
something about his motor, man. I watched him, brother, and he reminds me. I'm hoping he comes back, guys, and have a Justin Ebobi year. Justin Ebobi came back from that neck injury, and he went 100% and had one of his best seasons, if not the best season he's had at Bama. I'm hoping that happens with Tim. Tim right now is a little. It's like his motor just doesn't go the full speed every time when I watch him. It's just Coach Sean's humble opinion. Our Wolves and Bandits, Keanu Coit is a freak of nature. I think Keanu is one of those kids. The more reps he get, the better this kid is going to be, right? I've seen plays where he would get whipped, come back and take it personal. I could tell how he was clapping and how he was excited. That tells me, I know you got me on the last play. You won't get me on this one. Those are the kind of kids that get better. Keanu Coit is going to be a monster. Quindarius Robinson played well, right? But he need to get strong in the run game when they run to him. He got to be able to get off blocks and got to be able to create more of a problem in the run game, right? Keon Keeley, Quay Rousseau, and Yanze Pierre. All those kids are just youngsters. They're puppies. They're going to be absolutely awesome, right? They're right where they need to be. These kids are just young. All they need is reps, right? Right now, They're a few months away. I think they'll have big summers and all come back stronger, bigger, faster. They're just young right now. That's all. But they all have the talent to be absolute stars, and they will be. Inside linebacker. I'm wondering, is Deontay Lawson completely healthy? I'm not sure. I've seen a lot of times where he made plays and a lot of times where it's almost like he gave up on the play when Jam was running through. It's almost like, I don't know what was going on with that. He was easily blocked, right? Seems like he was just a step or two off. I told you about Justin Jefferson. Jeremiah Alexander played well. He thumped in the run game. He got to get better in short passing game. Justin Okenraku, this kid got a nose for the ball. This kid was all over the place. All over the place.
And you can tell, he can play with pure instinct. You can easily tell he can play with pure instinct.
Yes. You know what, Coach Jay? Even when he missed the tackle, that cat was 100 miles an hour, right? Mm-hmm. This kid is going to be good, man. This Justin kid is going to be good, and look out for that kid. I think Jeremiah Alexander is going to be great, right? Jeremiah just young. I think Jeremiah, remember, he played D-line. He didn't play middle linebacker, edge. Right? Yes, he was an edge. So Jeremiah Alexander is going to have a big future, right? Those two guys will be stars at the middle linebacker spot. Jihad Campbell is we already know about what he brings, right? I don't even have to go over him. We know what he brings. This vision coverage, vision coverage is not a lot of pattern matching, right? But with Mo Lindquist and Hitchler, I think these guys would be absolutely great. I think we do need another defensive back out of the portal, and I also think we need another linebacker. And finally, wrapping up on the offense, the quarterback. I have no worries at the quarterback. Running backs, I have no worries about the running backs. I was blown away by Richard Young and Daniel Hill. Those kids can play now. I know Richard can. Daniel Hill can play now. I said it. I'm on record of saying it. I think we got the best running back room in the country. All those kids can play, right? The young kids, just like Coach Al said. Isaac Fiaga, this kid is gonna have a bright future as well. It's a lot of young kids, right? Casey Poe, these younger offensive linemen. I don't know if they're ready to play right now and start, but these guys will be the future of Alabama football, and it is in bright hands, especially with this offense. Our tight end room is very strong, even stronger than I thought. I'm so impressed with our tight ends, man. Listen, we have enough tight ends, enough versatility in the tight end room to do whatever you want. You want to thump? Okay, we got Dupree, Cuvas, I guess that's how you pronounce his name, Josh, and my boy Oots. These guys are thumpers. They can catch the ball as well. You want a big tight end that can catch the ball going over the middle. Danny Lewis. The tight end room, the young man who chose us over Ohio State. Kid got great hands, tall kid too. So you look in our tight end room is probably better and stronger than I thought. Pass Pro was great. Now Odom, let's take Odom for a minute. Here's the thing I am gonna say about Odom. They got him playing wide receiver, learning that because they got him learning the wide receiver. I get it. He's a mismatch, but here's the thing about wide receiver. If he's playing X or if he's playing Z, this kid he got to learn how to get off press coverage, right? I've seen too many times where one defensive back was locking him down. Like he couldn't get off press. And I said this, if you go back and watch his high school film, I said that I've never seen him playing inline. All I seen him playing was the X. When he get to college, you're not going to be able to run by everybody. You're 6'6", 6'5", whatever it is. That's cool. But college corners, you're not going to be able just to run by these guys. And he did not. I would like to see him put him back at tight end and learn how to play inline tight end, because when he learns how to play inline tight end, he will definitely be a mismatch. There is no linebacker that'll be able to cover that kid. There is no safety, that'll be able to cover that kid, right? You can play X, you can play Z, you can play Y, you can play any of these wide receiver spots, right? But if you learn how to play tight end, you will truly be a mismatch. That way they can move you anywhere. Right? So I think he has a little bit of work to do. College football is different, man. He's a great athlete, true enough, but college football is different. I think when they get back to the fall and they work with him, I think he'll have a great season. Offensive line, the rest of the offensive line, solid. I think our tackles, both of them, start playing with pad level a little high. They kind of got in over their skis a little bit. A lot of inside moves. We're beating them to the inside. I personally think, and it's just Coach Sean, I don't think our tackles are just so good that they're going to keep Caden Proctor off the field. I don't believe that.
No, definitely not the left side.
Definitely. Facts.
Right.
I think Caden is going to be squarely in the mix of this. I really do. I think coming back for the fall, this kid is going to hop in. This kid started 12 games last year, 13 games, whatever it was. I don't think it's going to hinder Caden. If he gets into shape, I really believe he's going to force his way onto that field, because right now, I don't think our tackle, I don't think they played bad. They played well as an offensive line, right? But individually, they play well collectively. At times, we got straight beat. We got straight beat off the line of scrimmage.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you good, brother? So I do believe Caden has an opportunity to come in here and compete right off. I believe that. The bottom line of the offense, I think. Oh, one more thing. I think they need to get Emmanuel Henderson the ball more. I think Emmanuel Henderson might be the fastest on this team, bro. Faster than Jalen. Listen, on a jet sweep, this kid took like 3 steps and was already on the outside. I'm telling you what Coach Sean's eyes tell him. You better get 24 the ball some type of way. Emmanuel Henderson better be a factor going into the fall, because that kid is dangerous, man. That kid is dangerous. Emmanuel Henderson is a dangerous player. I'm telling you. So when you look at all these things, and you look at all these things that are in line to be improved on, I guess I would say, what do we do from here, Coach Sean? We got to go get some more secondary help out of the portal. We have some young kids that are going to be talented. These kids, Sabin Brown, you guys know how I feel about Sabin. You guys know how I feel about Xavier Mincy. You guys know how we all feel about Jalen Mbakwe, Dre Kirkpatrick. But these kids are extremely green, right? Experience in this conference, when you start playing against Georgia, when you start playing on the road at Oklahoma, experience is finite, man. I think if even if you want to say, well, let's just go get another corner to compete with them, however you want to put it, we got to get another corner out the portal, and I think they will. I do believe we'll get another linebacker out of the portal. I do believe we may possibly get a tackle out of the portal. I really, really believe it. I think this team, in closing, I do believe this team has an opportunity offensively to be better than we've had in the last couple of years, because this team will scheme you up more than teams of the past will. This team not just going to line up and run boring football at you. And this team is going to scheme you up. Whatever you line up in, along with pre-snap motion, this team is going to attack you as such, right? Kalen DeBoer said he was vanilla on offense, just as they was on defense. If lining up in all those different formations I saw at A-Day, 11 personnel, 12 personnel, split backfield in a zone, out of a zone set, split zone, inside, outside zone, RPOs. If that's vanilla, hell, we didn't run that much stuff during the whole season last year. Pinning, pulling, power, trapping. We didn't do any of that. Right, Coach J?
Mm-hmm. We didn't do nothing.
Bro,
it was the most simplest, basic bullcrap that you have ever seen with this fake zone, power five zone scheme.
Yes, Coach J. If that's what he called vanilla, look, listen, man, I can't wait for the season then. So I do believe this team has an opportunity to be very, very good. Now, I'm not going to get out over my skis and say what and this, that, and the third. All I'm saying is Kalen DeBoer has these guys doing things that we hadn't done since Coach Steve Sarkisian was here. This is a fact. How many times did Coach J Coach Sean and Coach Smoot sitting on the post-game show on Saturday night, asking the chat, where was the jet sweeps at? These guys were so bunched in to stop the run. Where was the jet sweeps at? We are going to actually stretch you out. We're going to make it so you can't pin your ears back and come get our offense like that. We're going to counter you to death, so you have to hesitate. Your safety is going to be on pins and needles the entire game playing this offense, man. Listen to me. This offense has the potential to be the best, to be one of the best schematically that we've had in a very long time. The defense with this vision coverage, once these guys go through the fall and play well and understand the scheme, this will give the defense more opportunities to get turnovers and takeaways, right? Playing this scheme. So that's my assessment, man. I'm happy with it. We still got some deficiencies. I won't tell that lie. We got some deficiencies, but I think this spring has went just as well as any spring I've seen in recent memory. Go ahead, Coach Jay.
And that's exactly why. And listen, if what we are right now, we are a 10-2 team right now. We are at least a 9-3, 10-2 team. Because I mean, let's be honest. Can we name one team that's had this much greenness, potentially as your starters or even as your rotational players, and they've gone ahead and competed for a national championship? It's never happened. Like history will tell you that it's never happened. Typically, the teams they have a lot of experience. You have to have a lot of experience in order for you to compete. And so, yeah, like when I take a look at this team, especially the deficiencies in the secondary, like I said, we got some good players. Like I said, I like Red Morgan. Peyton Woodyard, I thought played solid for what he was able to kind of do. For the most part. Sabin Brown had mistakes, but he also did a lot of good things. I thought he played well. Okay. But we also have to take into consideration, guys, that like they're just starting to kind of learn this game. Mm-hmm. And they're not learning the full complexities of this entire defense. They're just running basic cover three, just cover concepts. That typically you would be running. Like even if this is last year's defense, we'd be running very similar to what we did last year. It doesn't take that. It's not that hard to kind of grasp. Simple plays. Like I remember, my spring game, we ran 2 plays actually. We just ran shell. We just ran shell in cover 1. That's all we ran. We didn't do that much. So it's this is going to be a team that's going to have their growing pains, ladies and gentlemen. They're simply going to have it. And defensively, I think defensively it'll be a much harder transition than it would be offensively. Now, if you can get players that has familiarity with the coaching staff, that has familiarity with the defensive scheme, that definitely will help. Alabama, they just offered Greedy from Florida State. Yeah. And if he does come to Alabama, then one of the things that you can do is, you can probably play him at Rover, right? He's one of those guys that can play the both Husky and Rover. You don't want him to be playing as you don't want him playing on the boundary, but he does have that experience where he's a much better cover player, especially in man coverage than Malachi Moore is. Because let's be honest, at this point, I'm starting to understand why Malachi Moore is playing at free safety. Because his man coverage is just not good. It's just not good at all. He's great in run support, but honestly, I would just have him play in the box, and I would just have him playing as a free because I don't really. He has range, but I don't trust his range. I'm not the biggest believer in that. So I don't know. Like this team is still trying to experiment. They're still trying to find their ways, but they definitely have, they're green. They have their deficiencies.
There you go, Coach Jay.
What we got here? Let's see. Oh, Randall Green with the 499. He says, I think picking up a receiver that don't drop the ball would be good. Miro was pissed about the drops, and yep. We did have drops. We had 3 drops. We had 3 drops. Simple crap. And like I said before, like we're in love with Cole Adams. Like I think everyone loves Cole Adams, and I think that as a route runner, he's going to be a mismatch for linebackers and slot guys out there, or for anybody, or he'll be that mismatch there. Like I said, Henderson could play that Kendrick Law role, because I think Kendrick Law playing at X, or Bernard was at Z, and I think Law was at X, right?
Yes, that's a fact.
Yeah, that's a whole fact. So again, even though we all know Law can play that, Law can do it. Law can play that Debo role. Emmanuel Henderson, people have to forget, guys, that dude was a 5-star running back before coming to Alabama. So
that boy fast.
You can use his skill. You can use that skill set to play that law role while you can still keep law on the outside if you want to. So that's just kind of one of those things. But no, you got to use Henderson. You got to use in Cole Adams, but you're still looking for a lot more depth. And I don't think Jaron Hamilton. No disrespect, but I don't think Jaron Hamilton is going to be one of those guys that if one of those dudes go down, you have to rely on him in order to kind of be the answer. Now you got the two freshmen that are coming in. You got them coming in. But like Coach Son said, green. Like it's going to be green for a lot of these dudes that's going to be potentially playing.
Thank you, Randall. We appreciate you, brother. Roll Tide to you, man. Shout out to Caitlin Ingalls in the house. Caitlin is here. Roll Tide, Caitlin. We've been missing you, girl. Been praying for you. Hope everything's going well. Much love to you, sweetie. Good to see you.
Oh, is that Caitlin?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I got something for her.
Listen, Caitlin.
I got something for her. What's that? Yeah, I have to number these things. I gotta number these things. What's this one? Oh, that's not it. That's not it. Oh boy. Please be patient. There it is. We got her.
I love it.
We got her.
I love it.
I've been waiting for her to jump. Been waiting, but we got her.
Shout out to OG Jay Townsend. Jay, good to see you, man. Good to see you up in here, brother. Good to see you. So listen, let me say this real quick too, because I seen a lot of unnecessary comments on Twitter about the defense. Let me explain something real quick. Now I'm an offensive guy, so I'm always take up for the offense, but this is the truth, man. Jag, what's up, Jag? ATL is in the house. How you feeling, Jag? Ain't seen you in a while. Glad you up in here. Good to see you, Jag. What's up, David? How you doing? Sean Williams, my broski's in the house. Caleb Taylor, what's up, guys? Hit that like button on your way in if you can, please. Hamilton Presner, what's up, bro? Let me say this. King Mario, what's going on, brother? Listen. Now, let me preference this. When you have an offensive and defensive coordinator who left, and you got two brand new we got two new coordinators, offense and defense. Now, this is not this is not saying a defense who's been around for 3 years and got the same coordinator. I'm saying when you get an offense and a defense that come in at the same year, Womack and our offensive coordinator, Sheridan, right? Offense, defense, same time, brand new, everybody trying to learn. Anytime you get those guys on your mark, you set, go, the offense will always be ahead of the defense. Let me explain why. The defense have coverages. They have 1,000 things they do based off what we do, right? We memorize our plays. We memorize them. We know what we do when we break the huddle. We know what we're gonna do, right? You get a fresh defense. What you gonna do? If we line up in a bunch set, you're not gonna know who to cover. Them kids gonna be like, "Who do I cover?" They're not gonna know because you just don't see that, right? 4 receiver wide. They don't know. They don't know who to cover. They don't know what to do, right? The offense knows where to go. The offense memorizes that. It beats it. I'm telling you guys, there's times I've seen where the offensive coordinator have to tell the defense coordinator, look, man, can you just wait a minute? Can you just stick to one thing? Because we throwing so many formations at them. When you got an offense and a defense that come in together, the offense will always be ahead of the defense, man, right? The defense is going to catch up. They have to catch up based off schematics. So don't feel bad about the defense giving up some plays. That was an extremely, like Coach Jay said, vanilla defense. They didn't do any type of twist, stunts, nothing. They just lined up and said hike and play, right? Jahad Campbell didn't play. We got a young secondary. It's spring, right? We got a returning quarterback. So please don't be discouraged by that. Let me see. Caleb Taylor says, Sean, 2024 is going to be B2A tour. That's a fact. Let me say this again for the people that just joined the chat. Caleb DeBoer said this was vanilla on the off. He talked about the defense, but he said we didn't throw too much at them. It was vanilla. Like what? I watched that spring game, man. Right? 1 back, 2 tight ends. Right? 2 backs, 2 tight ends. Right? 12 personnel, 11 personnel, 22 personnel, running all type of things. They threw a screen to the flat. I hadn't seen a screen to the flat in 3 years. This is the truth. Coach Jay laughing because he know we talk about this. Me and Coach Jay pull each string of our hair out. We take turns doing it this past season. My turn, Coach Jay. Your turn, Coach Jay. You know what I'm saying? I seen these kids threw a screen in the flat. Do you know how happy I am about that? He said that was vanilla, Coach Jay.
The majority of that game, somebody was pulling. Somebody was pulling. I'm just like, man. I just like, and that's vanilla, because it's so basic. But it's that's basic to him. How many times did we pull a game last year?
Right. First of all, shout out to Patriot Life, our brother, for sure. Leader of the chat, Patriot Life, Rob. Gifted 5 more Bama football on YouTube with Kyle Henderson memberships. Everybody gonna be green for it's over with. Patriot Life, you already know how we feel about you, bro. Yeah, thank you, man. We appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you more than you know. Thank you, Roll Tide, to Patriot Life, who always hooking us up. But Coach, listen, Patriot Life. Dun, dun, dun. Yes. Shout out to Patriot Life, man. Roll Tide to you, broski. Yeah, man. And so listen, what I'm saying, guys, is in layman terms is, if that was a vanilla offense, guys, all those formations, all those personnel changes, all that pulling, all that power, man, we seen Justice and Jam in the same backfield, split zone. That's how Justice, Jam scored on that. Jam scored on one of those plays. If that is vanilla on offense,
how many times did we run that last year?
Bro, that's hell. I man, listen. I have no clue. The 0, I don't remember. Right? So I don't know, man. I'm just excited about this offense. The defense will be fine. Hold on, Coach Jay said having a problem getting fan from the membership. Yeah, you know what, Jay? Caitlin went through that a while back. I'm gonna forward that to Kyle, Jay, and because it's something on his end he could do to fix that. Caitlin Engel went through that same thing, and I had to, hook her up with Kyle and to figure that out. I'll definitely patch you through to him. I'm gonna shoot you his number and talk with him, and it's something on his end, admin wise, he can do to fix that, Jay. I'm gonna shoot you his email. I'll show you that long email. I hate to put that big long email up there, Coach Jay. Mm-hmm. The Bama on. Wait a minute, I gotta find that email. Is it on our Slack, Coach Jay?
Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna get it right now.
See if you can. See if it's on that Slack, if you will. We're gonna get you that email, Coach Jay, and then make sure you holler at him, Jay. Make sure you holler at Kyle, and definitely get with him. But listen, guys, that offense is gonna be. I'm telling you, I'm so excited. The fact that we running screens again, we running jet sweeps again. We hadn't seen that on a consistent basis since Steve Sarkisian was here. This is a fact. Loxley ran some of it. Lane ran some of it. Sark ran a lot of it. Right? I cannot tell you guys how excited I am for that. And we done that in the dadgum spring game. We were more versatile in a spring game than we were during the whole damn season. That I promise you. Split zone with Jam and Justice. Man, wait till the fall. Wait till the fall, bro.
I got the email. It's not the Bama one, but it's the other email. I don't know if you want me to post that.
Yeah, post the one because that's the one Kyle told me to get a Caitlin that time. And okay. Jay, when Coach Jay posts this, hit Kyle up ASAP. He'll definitely call you back or hit you back when you let him know that you can't donate for sure. Yeah, man. So I'm excited about it. The defense will have their day, but to see the offense have these type of of things coming. I'm excited about it, man. Let's see. Hey, Kareem, all facts. See what Kareem said? They come out with that the very first play with that, Coach Sean. That's all fact. Man, listen, Kareem, do you remember us doing that last year? Because I don't, man. Just a saying jam, split zone. Man, what you gonna do with that? Right? You know the safety is panicking for his life based off film study. You got Justice and Jam in the same backfield. What you gonna do with that? The safety has no choice but to come on up here. Come on up a little closer. You have to. You have to respect that. So yeah, brother, Kareem, I don't think we done that the entire season last year. And if we did, I don't even remember, man. Facts, Kareem, all facts. I get excited about stuff like that, man. Great offense, I get excited about. I've been waiting for this so long, right? So to move all the receivers around, to move all these guys around, Coach J, to have Kendrick Law playing X, then flip over and play on the inside, to have Kobe playing everywhere, that tells you that all the receivers are learning each spot. They hadn't done that since Devontae was here. Remember what Devontae said? We all know each other. We know that we know each other's positions, right? I know all the X positions. I know all the Z positions, right? So every play that's called, I can line up at either one. That's when you are most dangerous, right, Coach J?
Mm-hmm. It's funny how fast they were able to grab it in year one when everyone was criticizing Brian Daboll for being too vanilla with his receiving concepts, but yet they grasped they grasp the responsibilities as far as being in the H, being Z, being at X, being at Y.
Facts.
But yet we've had 2 years of Bill O'Brien and Reese where none of these receivers were able to kind of grasp their individual assignments.
All facts.
It's this is kind of funny to recognize it, but yeah, these receivers are getting it. They're starting to really understand it, and that's a great sign because that tells me that once we get these freshman receivers like Rico and Ryan and Amari and these cats starting to come in, that it's a little bit more easier for these guys to kind of grasp it because this is a brand new scheme for these guys, and the fact that Kendrick Law seemed a lot more comfortable playing at X compared to when he was running with Tyrese, that goes to show you something. Something's up with this offense, and these players are starting to really start to understand it. So that's why I keep saying, guys, offensively, even though it's still new, I'm way more comfortable and way more confident that these young guys can grasp it compared to the defensive side of the ball. Because the defensive side of the ball, I think that's going to be a little more complex. And typically that's a much harder transition compared to that side of the ball, especially if you have a great offensive mind.
Yeah. When you play pattern match, as long as we've been doing it with Coach Sabin, now you're asking these kids to not turn toward the receiver. That's when you see the defensive backs in Coach Sabin's scheme, they're playing off, but they're still sort of facing the receiver, got their back to the formation. Yeah. So now these kids are asked, don't worry about that. Just play your position, watch the quarterback, react off what he do, vision coverage. Now you got a chance for more takeaways with that. It's some risk in it. Especially with young DBs, right? Pattern match sort of kind of covers them up from giving up big plays, I guess, if you will. But once you master that coverage, once you really get good at it, man, listen, takeaways, turnover. That's what they're trying. They're trying to take the ball from the offense. So I respect it, man. I respect it. You know what I mean? I love it. Tell them Patriot Life letting you know right there. Patriot Life said, you new Rubberneck members, come on out and say hi. You owe me an explanation and a refund. Shout out to Patriot Life. All facts, man. They rubbernecking. They may or may not say nothing. You know what I'm going to give a shout out to? I'm going to give a shout out to this kid here, man, because I seen something that I can respect from Darius. Darius Fontaine, the resident Georgia Bama fan. He said, no trolling today, Kimberly. I'm only talking. Hey, Darius, I can respect.
I had something special. I was waiting. I'm waiting for somebody to troll because we got a special song for them. We got something special.
That's all I ask, Darius. Talk football every once in a while, man. That's all I ask. That's all Coach Sean wants. Talk football. I don't want to put belt to ass tonight. I want to talk football, bro. I respect it, right? So the offense, I'm excited about it, man. King Yah Warrior, what's up with you, brother? How you doing? And roll tide to you. Please hit the like button if you guys will, man. Money Man, what's up with you, bro? Lance Hunter, how you guys doing, man? Caitlin is in the house. You know, Caitlin in here, man. It's going down. So that's my thing, man. I'm really excited, Coach Jay. The fall is going to be outstanding. Seen a video of Caden working out. Caden is not chunky, bro. Listen,
slim.
This is why I say, Coach Jay, this kid come to compete. All that big pudgy belly, nope. That cat's solid. Like, wait till y'all see Caden, man. Wait till you see Caden. Caden, whatever he's been doing, hey, man. Yeah, Tybo, whatever the hell you're doing, keep it up, bro. Because we coming. Jam, hungry, right? Justice, hungry. Emmanuel Henderson want the ball. Jeremy Bernard want the ball. Once these receivers learn how to attack at the end of their route, how to explode, and how to come out of their break at the top of their route, right? You just can't cut in on a dig and just cut in. Don't worry about what a defensive back is. No, you got to learn how to get open in space. Once you explode open, you got to set the defensive back up, whether he's behind you, on the side of you, in front of you. The quarterback can't always throw you open. You have to learn how to get open at the top of your route. And that's just all facts. Right, Coach Jay?
Yep. And like I said, we can't wait for it. And Coach Sean, this is what for most what we keep saying. If we can figure out our tackle situation, the interior offensive line is, we saw before, it's the best in the country. I mean, everybody, even the haters, like I said, even the haters you can't talk crap about our interior offensive line play anymore. It's the best.
That's a fact. That's
the only fight now is really the left tackle spot. That's for me, because I'm a little bit more comfortable at right tackle than the left spot. But the left tackle, and Caden Proctor, like you just said before, he's been working a lot harder. He looks slim. Right. And like I said, I don't know his individual weight, but if I had to give an estimate, he looks around 340. He might be 340, 345 at least, because I think he was listed around 360. So if he can if he can come in here and the transition is smooth, it might not be perfect, but it's a much smoother transition compared to some of the other tackles that we have here playing at that spot, we're good. I think we have that's a top 5 offensive line unit in college football now, because your interior is great. Maybe not the depth, but your starting front is great. You're just waiting for at that point. So now it's just all the other areas. It's receivers, again, like you said before, how kind of green we are in that particular area, and just learn. And just pretty much, it's just learning, watching film, trying to figure out where some of the mistakes. Do I need to kind of be a little more explosive coming off the break a little bit? Do I need to, am I cutting a little bit too early on my route pattern? Is the chemistry between my quarterback, is that off? Is that my fault? It's if we can just grasp that a little bit more often, then I think we're good, guys. I think offensively, we are not far away from becoming an elite offense. We are not far away from it at all. It's just little things that we got to clean up. But that's a great sign, guys. That's a very, very great sign that we're a lot more excited. What's going on in the background, Coach? What's going on in the background?
I was waiting for you to get done with your long-winded stuff. You acting like me, boy, like you on Sunday morning trying to close out the sermon. Hey, look, I was about to say, I'm the one that take forever to get done with my little statements. But, bro, I've been listening to y'all, man. I went out to eat, man. Me and my manager, y'all know KT, my manager, we had, bro, when y'all say we got some opportunities out there for the team, she is working at her and some of the connects she has. Shout out to Wade's World, man. Shout out to Moonrocker. Like Atlanta might be a new stomping grounds for us, y'all. It might just be, you know what I'm saying? For what we do and how we do it, it might be an opportunity here. So y'all be on the lookout, Bama Nation. But I was listening to y'all, man, and I kind of want to. I don't know how long you got, Jay. I know Sean said he could stay for about another 30 before we got on. But I would love to just dialogue with y'all to end the night, man, because y'all already done killed everything that I wanted to talk about, man.
Okay, so Coach, let me bring it to you. Bring it to me. You the receiver. I definitely want to hear what you got to say about this, because he played receiver. He played the position. I went back. I'll just be brief, and you speak on it, Coach. I told people that I really went back and watched again, and in my humble opinion, I just watched the guys, right? And what I said was the receivers looked to me. I didn't look at none but like certain segments, but the receivers, right?
Yeah.
It looked like these kids obviously talented, obviously great, right? But it looked like to me. I even brought up a example. I said an out right, but I just said, "No, let's do a dig. Let's just take a dig, right? Something simple, which is pretty much just a deep end, right?
Yeah.
So I told him it looked to me like they got to get better because Coach DeBoer said something about this, and I had to really go back and watch it for myself. Now I see what he means. He said the receivers got to learn how to get open, and I was like, "What do you mean how to get open?" At the top of the route, they got to learn. Like when you take that dig and explode inside,
go out, go ahead and go. Don't hesitate. Don't second guess it. Go because that's what the quarterback. That's what the quarterback is going to go off of. This ain't like. And I'm gonna turn the music down. It's kind of loud for me. I don't know about y'all, but yeah, I'm right there with you, Sean. And that's what.
Where's the defensive back is, Smoot?
They're in their hips. They're in their hips. So like. It's not a matter of if the defense can keep up. My thing is, if the wide receiver just go, the quarterback is already like they're not waiting for the quarterback to say, "Okay, this is page I'm on." They're teaching the quarterback wherever the receiver goes, you got to trust them.
It's based off timing. Like you got it. Like you can't let the quarterback try to hold on to a little bit of the ball because you're just trying to second guess your route. You got to just
there you go, Jay. So Ty does a good job of that. Ty understands like, hey. He's giving me the true one-on-one matchup. That's the one I'm attacking, regardless of whatever else happens around it. If this is one that I gotta go to on my second read, my second progression is there to that one-on-one, I'm taking it. But he has to be sure what he's doing. And these receivers aren't used to that, man. So I love the fact that was exploited in the spring game. A lot of people, we did the cut from my segment this morning about the offense identity. Our offensive identity was definitely displayed in this spring game. I don't care what anybody say. The run game is going to be
Hell yes.
Coach Sean, you sat there and Coach Sean texted me 3 times during the scrimmage.
Yes, sir.
And every time he texted me, he was like, "Bro, did you see the run? Did you see the run look? Did you see the zone read scheme? Did you see the zone read blocking scheme?" And it wasn't necessarily the full old line doing it. It was one guy out every play. They pulling like they about to do a counter or
it's crazy.
It's crazy. I
said the majority of the game.
Jay, I said it this morning. I said Coach DeBoer has taken Madden and made it real life. He's literally taken Madden and made it real life, and it's effective. It's effective when you have the type of talent that he has available at his disposal. Shout out to everybody that undefeated. I'm gonna go. Hey, if y'all give me 10 seconds, I'm gonna do shout outs real quick because I really want to end this with us tonight. Shout out to everybody in chat. Carla, appreciate you. Sean, appreciate you. Matt Farms, everybody shouting out, Coach Smook and his team. Appreciate you. KT, my manager, we just came from handling business. She has been on a freaking trail, bro. I can't wait to talk to y'all offline about what, bro. Sean, you kind of got an idea. Jay, you might need to go ahead, pack up and move down south, brother. Go ahead, pack up.
Oh.
Hey, go ahead, come to Atlanta. Listen, Jay, I know you've been out here. You've been searching. You've been on the hunt. You're looking for Mrs. Jan Sports. She's in Atlanta somewhere. She may not be at Magic City.
Definitely at Atlanta.
She's definitely in Atlanta. So.
There's too many fast girls in Atlanta, man. I don't know. You might have to.
Bro. Hey, Jan, we're gonna put you up in one of them Mazda 6 speeds, boy. Ooh, Tokyo Drift head, boy. I'm telling you, it's up. But hey, shout out to
everybody. Smoop, I got a question I want to ask you.
But yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all for loving me. But tonight, this is the coach's show. I begged for this for so long. We gonna do it. We doing it tonight, and we only gonna have 30 minutes of it, max 30 minutes, and then I'll close it out if it need be. But go ahead, bro.
So me and Coach Jay went back and forth about this, and Coach Jay made some great points about this. I want to know what you think about this. Me being a running back, man, I was ecstatic when I saw. I told Kareem, go back and watch it, bro. I saw pulling, I saw power, I saw counter. I even seen a little trap on the play to jam. I even seen a little trap. I want to know what you think about the running scheme, the split zone with Jam and Justice on the field at the same damn time. What you think about that?
I think Coach Jay is in disbelief, just like I was. There was no way that happened with Alabama. That was crazy.
Yes. When the last time you saw that, Coach?
Sark No, not even Sark. No, Lane Kiffin. Sark didn't even do that. Lane Kiffin. Not even. You know what?
My favorite play was a jet sweep to Cooper. Cooper will always take the jet sweep every single time, and it would work.
And that wasn't even Lane, I believe. I think that was
Lane. Yeah, because
that was Lane first. Oh, you're right. Oh yeah, Blake Sims first year. That's all I saw, y'all. I was like, oh my God, this is Blake Sims' first year, like on steroids. Like that's what it looked like. And I'm saying like the defense has to defend this and try to put on a good show for what they had to defend and what they did, the base coverage and all the base looks that the defense was getting told to look. I said it earlier. I said it would take a half for them to kind of settle in. It was, a lot of young guys in that secondary, but that read and react, that forcing them to have to do that and start playing ball, like a lot of this was instinct for this defense during the scrimmage. So just imagine how much more depth they're going to be able to fly to the ball and how much more confident they're going to be in the defensive play calls in the season when you start adding the nuances. And they already know you trusting them to make the natural play. You're giving them the freedom in the spring game to say, hey, cover 3. That's all Kane Womack was saying, cover 3. And it's like, here we go, cover 3 again. Then they just got tired of it. Malachi Moore said, we just held ourselves accountable, and we went out there, we wanted to play. We got cover 3 call. Guess what? Bump that. We match cover 3. As long as you know, us 5 across the field, Rover Husky, inside linebacker know what we're doing behind them, we're good. And you saw the effects of that. I'm telling y'all, this is a dangerous team, y'all. This is a dangerous team because you don't know what to expect coming into the season.
Screen in the flats, Coach. What you think about that? No. Before you answer that, when's the last time you seen us throw a screen in the flat?
Sean, I can't remember a game where Lane Kiffin called it, but I know that's his thing because he is the extension of the run game master. Coach Jay, you talked about it. When we was talking about Tommy Reese last year when he finally gave Jermaine Burton and I think it was Jermaine Burton and Kobe Prentice in the Ole Miss game, they had 2 behind the scrimmage passes. Like it wasn't handoffs, it wasn't just sweeps. It was behind the scrimmage passes, screen passes. And we was like, oh snap, Tommy Reese figuring it out. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
We saw it twice the whole season of last year, but the person that used it, Lane Kiffin. He said, Zachary Wood just with the $4.99 super chat says, do y'all believe we could win a MA championship this season? A national championship. I guess he's saying national. I really do, bro. You take a team that was 6 points away, not 7 points, 6 points away from going to another overtime and giving them a chance to win another iteration of downs to go to the championship game against the team that was Michigan was probably the most equipped team to win the national championship, and they won it.
Yeah.
Literally, they were the only team that could balance out all year. They didn't have
18 seniors.
18, bro. And you had 9 rotating defensive linemen on a 3-4 front.
Yep. It's crazy.
You're talking about 3 groups of first teamers.
Yeah, that's rare, guys. That's kind of like we were that year when Najee and Devontae and everybody came back. That's just one of those rare teams, man, that you don't get to see a lot.
And even they were running pin and pull. How many times did I had to come up here and I'm saying, remember, like I came out and said, like in Michigan, they run a lot of pin and pull, and I'm like,
you did, yep.
That's a more heavy run scheme than what we do, and they're running a lot more pin and pull. They're running a lot more exotic blocking schemes than what we're doing right now. Like, what are we doing? Yeah,
and see, a lot of people try to play it. A lot of people try to put it on QB play. I'm telling you, blocking design, run scheme. That helps the offense. And that's why I went with my take earlier today. I really believe this first year in this transition of terminology, of schematics, of understanding depth and what like we saw the issue with Kobe Prentice and Emmanuel Henderson on Ty Simpson's throw. The one that we was like, Ty Simpson overthrew it. No. Emmanuel Henderson's depth was horrible. He's 7 yards and you got the dig route at 12 behind you. That's not good depth. You're letting one player play 2 spots. You're letting, 5 yards seem like a lot, but you're talking about athletes here. Half a step covers 1.7 yards, 2.3 yards for some of these linebackers. And you tell me ball travel, Ty Simpson ain't trying to bullet that in. He got to put some touch on it. So that pass looks awful. But you look at the design of the play and how it's ran correctly, literally 4 plays before that, you're like, okay, that's a wide receiver error. Like, I promise y'all, Coach Sean said it, and I don't know if Coach Jay said it, but Coach Sean, myself and Coach Sean, I'm telling y'all, every time we say something, go back and watch this scrimmage. I guarantee you will get a great idea of what Coach Kalen DeBoer and his staff want to do with this offense, and you don't have no idea what Kane Womack and his defense is going to do, but you see the ability to make adjustments, and that is scary compared to what we was dealing with last year.
You know what, Coach Jay spoke on this a while back. It should piss every Bama fan off, and I'm gonna refilter kind of what Coach Jay was saying. It should piss everybody off that when you see the versatility of this offense, like what the hell we've been doing over the last 2 seasons, man. Even with Bryce, we limited. Like, what the hell have we been doing, man?
You made Bryce Young literally run a Peyton Manning offense, just full general, full commandership.
Demetrius, I've been waiting for you to come in and attest, because your football knowledge is consistently in question when it comes to doggone this Bama team. I'm telling you, bro.
Early because if he kept running,
he didn't cut us right off early. He is in full stride coming across the formation on that Ty Simpson pass. What are you talking about? We literally were trying to figure out how Ty Simpson overthrew him. And if you look at that play design, Ty Simpson didn't overthrow him. If he's shorter on his depth, that's a nice bullet pass. He's not having to jump for it. It's not touching his fingertips and almost getting picked off. If he's shorter and shallow, it's the concept. Kalen DeBoer, Nick Sheridan, if you want to get a head start on Alabama, for all the rubberneckers, all the naysayers in this chat, if you're a coach of another staff and you watch our channel, go watch Nick Sheridan's YouTube video of how this offense is designed from the base up. He goes through the first phase of this offense. And Emmanuel Henderson broke doggone discipline. He broke the structure. And that's why that play looks so bad. Because if he doesn't break structure, it's a perfect pass to Kobe Prentice at the dig level. It's a perfect pass. Kobe Prentice is 2 steps behind Emmanuel Henderson when that ball is tipped off his fingers. If Kobe Prentice, if Emmanuel Henderson doesn't touch it, Kobe Prentice catches that in stride, and Ty Simpson looks like QB1. Literally.
You know what I told Coach Jay? We gotta find. I knew everybody kept talking about how fast he was. Smooth. Jay, we have got to find a way to get E-Man the damn ball. 24, that boy can run, man.
Not just him, but 21, Bubba Hampton.
Yeah, Arian Hampton can. Mm-hmm. Did you see when E-Man took the jet sweep 3 steps? That cat was around the corner. I was like, who is that?
Hey,
it was him.
But Kendrick Law is just more of a freaking like, bro.
Yeah,
you gotta think. Boy. You got Kendrick Law and Jeremy Bernard that can do that for you.
Did y'all see that play? I think this is the one where Kendrick Law, he took it for like around 20, 30 yards. Did y'all notice that if he wanted to, he could have, Jalen Miro could have kept it. That was
kept it easy.
That was a read. That was a read with who was pulling? I think that was Booker pulling. If he wanted to, because that was whoever sealed off that edge did it perfectly. That was literally good. That you can make an argument that could have been a much bigger game than him handing off the ball to Kendrick Law.
Yeah,
like I'm just like, man, we just have options. Even during the jet sweeps when there's running in motion, we have options because we can pull it, and it's all because of the offensive line play when we're just pulling, and that's why I was just begging for this team to do last year. It's so basic because we're not doing anything with our blocking designs. So it just makes it so much, especially when they're stacking the box and we have no ability to try to spread them out.
Jay, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Every game when me and you got excited, the only time we agree, and Coach Sean wasn't in live game day chat as much, but that Discord, the only time me and Jay was agreeing when we had pre-snap motion on the offensive side. That's the only time we agreed. Pre-snap. Am I lying, Jay?
Nope.
Every play when we had pre-snap motion, we didn't care what the result was. It was like great play. But anytime you force us to win one-on-one, it's not fair. I don't care how great of an athlete you are. You got defensive coaches on the other side in the SEC that should be coaching on the NFL level, and they're going to take that away. You playing into their hands. You got to create mismatches, and that's why I love Kalen DeBoer's offense. That's why we love Sarkisian's offense. That's why we love Kiffin's offense. That's why you look at Lincoln Riley's offense and wonder how he gets a transfer quarterback every year, and all of a sudden he's a freaking quarterback whisperer. Me and Ty had a debate about that today. Everybody's like, Lincoln Riley can develop quarterbacks. I said, no. Lincoln Riley can develop and set up mobile quarterbacks to be successful, but show me a pocket quarterback that he developed. Spencer Rattler was the first name that came up by Ty Hayes. He was like, dang.
He developed in South Carolina. That was the development. He got developed more in South Carolina than what he did in Oklahoma. He's more set up to go to the NFL now with that team.
Undefeated. I want y'all to know, Coach Jay doesn't have time to watch the live segments during the day. He literally just said what Ty said earlier. Literally, almost verbatim, Jay. Literally, almost verbatim. The ability to develop all types of quarterbacks has not been proven. But mobile quarterbacks, he knows how to set them up. He knows how to get assets around them so that they can be successful and continue to excel and progress and develop. But talking about a pocket quarterback, no. Lincoln Riley ain't him.
I told the guys earlier, I said, when I watched that scrimmage back and I watched it for personnel groupings, I seen these guys run 12 personnel. I seen these guys run 13 personnel. I seen them run 11 a lot, right? And the thing about it is, man, when you look at everything they did from these formation statuses, bro, some of this stuff we didn't do all season. Like
at all, zero.
Stuff, yeah, man. I just sit here, I'm watching, I'm like, bro. See, one thing about Sark that I used to love, Sark was not going to allow you to play base defense and get a beeline on what they were doing. Sark was going to bring pre-snap motion even when it was just a base off the two-hole zone, inside, outside zone, basic dive, right? He was still going to give you some window dressing to move some pieces around. What they playing, man? Is anybody following him? He was not going to allow you just to get a beat like Tennessee did us, right? And still, Sark was always a step ahead of the defensive coordinator. That's what I respected about him.
Can I jump on this Lincoln statement? Lincoln never developed no Heisman quarterbacks. Lincoln has been given mobile quarterbacks who had not been in a system that advocates to their skill sets. Lincoln knew how to advocate to a mobile quarterback skill set. If you're a mobile quarterback and you're not a 5-star, go to Lincoln Riley. You'll find your place. I promise you. And it's not so much of being developed. It's literally schematics. When you're talking about development, you look at what Jalen Hurts did the year before he went to Lincoln Riley. Well, Jalen Hurts was a drop back QB by the end of that second year. He did against Georgia, the best defense in the nation that year. He did against Georgia for those 4 drives when he had to come in, bring us from 7 points down, take the lead and win it.
People forget how better he got in the second half of the year when he was coming on. Because the first half, he struggled, but he started to really pick it up. And he actually, he got better.
And then better. The Lincoln Riley, the year he was at Oklahoma, he really didn't pick up until week 4. It wasn't until week 4 when he got used to the game speed. And Jalen Hurts will tell you, there is no defense that he played in the doggone in that year until he got to see SEC defense. He didn't see no defense like that. So I would say that Lincoln Riley has been fortunate enough to develop quarterbacks in the Big 12. Now in the Pac, or the Big 10 now, what USC in the Big 10 now, Sean, they traveling to Pennsylvania and Eastern Kentucky and New Jersey every weekend.
Yeah, I think people are. This is what I think you guys are confusing. I think they're confusing a great offense with a quarterback developer. You know,
right.
Lincoln Riley is a great offensive coach to score points. When you're talking about quarterback developer, that's Steve Sarkisian. Look at Mac Jones, what he did for Mac. Look at what he did for Jake Locker, who didn't play with no talent. You know what I'm saying? Lincoln Riley is a great offensive coach. He knows how to draw offense up schematically. Quarterback developer is something totally different. That's something totally different.
Hey, y'all, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all know I went to this Hispanic restaurant. I'm gonna say Mexican because they had this doggone dish called the Fiesta Blend or whatever. It got steak, chicken, shrimp with rice and broccoli. Ooh-wee. I ain't gonna lie. As soon as y'all get done, I'm probably not gonna stay on board.
Coach Boo, just real quick, because I'm glad I pulled this up. This is something that and y'all tell me if I'm lying. This is something that every single Lincoln Riley quarterback, this is their entire evaluation from their from the NFL, exclusively playing in the shotgun. And the moment that they drop back, their progression, their progression as a passer compared to when they're playing in the drop back is significantly down. Significantly down. They're playing in a simplistic offense, mainly consisting of one read concepts, right?
Yep.
And always having the concern to play in a traditional pro offense. And then their mechanics are hit and miss because their footwork needs cleaning up, because in the Lincoln Riley offense, you don't need your footwork to be perfect, and that it doesn't need to be good at all because of the type of offense that they're being surrounded in, simplistic with one read concepts, which means that ball it's going to be quick. It's going to be out quickly. So you're not going to be diagnosing. You're not going to be really going through your progressions like that. It's not needed.
This is my and Ty Hayes made a great argument. He said you got to look at how he set things up around the mobile quarterback to make them get more comfortable in the pocket. If you look at any team that's defeated a Lincoln Riley offense that really has held them under their averages, guess what they have done? Take away the mobility of the quarterback. You know what you can't do to Georgia right now? If you take away Carson Beck's mobility, you're putting him right in the spot he wants to be. If you take away Jaden Daniels last year, if you take away his mobility, you're putting him in the spot that he wants to be in. Michael Penix, Jackson Dart. A lot of people don't give Jackson Dart for his ability to sit in the pocket and deliver. Like, if you take away his mobile ability, we saw it against us as a team. We couldn't spot no more. We really had to go balls to walls, man up, match zone against Ole Miss. Coach Sean called it out. I'm sitting here thinking we playing safe 3 match. No, we were playing match man.
Yeah,
we were literally playing match man that game because Jackson Dart, anytime we took away his ability to use his legs, guess what he do? He rolling out, dumping it off 8-9 yards downfield, getting first downs, keeping the clock going. You know, doing all the things that you should do in that type of system. So when it comes to offensive coordinators, I think we have the best lineup that's available right now in college football, man. I really do.
I'll say this. I think, again, people are getting offensive coordinator and a great offensive schematic play caller mixed up with quarterback coach. When you talking about quarterback coach, man, you talking about Bobby Petrino to me. You talking about, look at Lamar Jackson. You talking about, he didn't have a lot of talent in Louisville. You talking about Lane Kiffin. This guy has won with quarterbacks that are now in the league for years. Look at Tyson Hilton at Western Kentucky. Look at Bailey Zappi. I mean,
Coach Sean, a lot of people don't want to admit it, or they probably don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
But Jimbo Fisher is a quarterback developer, bro. Jimbo Fisher can develop the crap, and maybe not the best game manager, maybe not the best decision maker when it comes to, but you talking about developing. He took Jameis Winston. You look at Jameis Winston coming out of high school, ain't no way he should have been a starting quarterback, bro. Ain't no way. But he developed a young man. He forced him to change, not necessarily change the throwing motion, but he tightened it up. He got him more efficient. And then the boy couldn't see. He couldn't see. He's squinting for the plays. He's out there like this, trying to ask for the plays from Jimbo and his staff. Y'all remember that?
Look what he did with E.J. Manuel.
Look what he did with.
Look what he did with Connor Wigman.
He doing the Coach J
against us. Yeah,
he doing the Coach J, trying to figure out what the play is. Like, come on, man. Jimbo is that dude too, but Steve Sarkisian is definitely one of the ones. And I think Kalen DeBoer, 2017, I think it was Indiana 6-0. Me and Coach J highlighted this the other day.
Yeah,
that year is when Kalen DeBoer and Kane Womack bought their tickets to becoming head coaches / senior coordinators. They had Indiana 6-0. Indiana, who had a 28th rank, a 78th ranked recruiting class coming into that season. They didn't have a lot of studs. Them jokes was 6-0, averaging 32 points a game through that first 6 games. Indiana? Come on, bro.
Poetic Injustice with the $5 super chat. If I can answer your question, are we calling when Baker was at Oklahoma? Yes, he was mobile. Baker ran around a lot when he was in college. He don't do it as much in the league now, but go back and watch Baker. When Baker was at Oklahoma, yes, he ran around quite a bit in that scheme. If you're talking about quarterbacks, Josh Heupel, and I'm not a Tennessee fan at all. Sam Bradford, Landry Jones, Drew Lock, Hendon Hooker. I mean, this dude, he can develop a quarterback. I mean, he can, so it's a difference, guys, in offensive play caller and offensive schematic guy and quarterback guy, right? Now, some are both. I think Steve Sarkisian is both. You go to Clemson, they got the Garrett Riley guy. He's just a great offensive coordinator. He's not a quarterback developer, right? So quarterback developer is, can you take the kid that's not a 5-star and put him in the league? Go ask Lamar Jackson about that. Bobby Petrino.
I want smoke, y'all. I want smoke. I can't even lie. I want smoke. Carlos, I've been seeing your comments for probably the past week or so, and I've been letting you slide. But where's the Bama bias? Because we're literally trying to highlight the fact that in order for this Bama team to have success, Kalen DeBoer's system needs to be in place. He hasn't coached a game at Bama. He's coached at Fresno State, Auburn, Indiana, Sioux Falls. What do you mean Bama bias? We're talking about the fact
Carlos,
that explain, Carlos, because I want smoke. I'm not even gonna lie. And you better explain quickly, arm on your neck, with your C profile avatar picture. Come on.
I like to see what he means. I kind of want to see what he got to say.
Al Sanders. He talking about Coach Al. It's Bama football on YouTube. So yeah, bias. No, Al Sanders, ain't no bias here. We talking real football. Now we ain't saying nothing off the top of the head. This is like, it is what it is. Carlos, you better run up. You better talk.
What was he biased about, Carlos, in your opinion? That's what we want to know.
See, Sean be saying y'all look, he be all nice. I be wanting you to stand 10 toes down on what you said because you coming out.
Yeah. See, you gotta give him a chance to answer because I want to see what he gonna say. I just want to hear what he gonna say. Please tell us what you say.
I got the big guns tonight, baby. I got the big guns tonight. Marquita, you already know what time it is. Look,
tell Marquita, us, Carlos. I want to know.
You remember me and Wade little warm up routine for the bowl? Right, left, 2 times. Yeah, I'm about to 2-time that boy. That's our bowling routine. Me and Wade, we had this little routine, help him bowl a strike. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to.
Come on, Carlos. I want to know, what was he biased about?
Carlos, don't take all day. Don't take all day. Come on, Carlos. Y'all see I sit up in that chair? This is a nice little chair. This is a stool. This is a bar stool chair. It's swivel a little bit. Yeah, right, left, 2 times. That's what we call it.
Coach Al, I want to know what he said. I would like to know, but it seems like he don't want to answer. So. Okay.
Carlos scared. Don't be scared, Carlos.
Explain. How we bias?
Explain yourself. SPLAIN. Explain yourself.
Please. I would love to know. Offensive coaches? You mean?
I think it's talking about just as far as development quarterbacks.
What does that have to do with Bama?
Right. Well, how's that a Bama bias?
I think what he's trying to say is because we talked about Lincoln Riley, how Lincoln Riley can develop coaches that's just, I don't know, it's Bama bias, I guess.
Lincoln Riley is a great play caller. I can't take that from him, but I don't think he's better.
He develop quarterbacks. What quarterback has he developed? He has Spencer Rattler. That was the case that Ty made. Ty really, I was going to hit Ty with the Spencer Rattler case, but literally Ty came and said, "Damn."
He said Bama had the best. That's okay. That's what he said. He said. Best.
Oh, damn. So you're biased.
What? The best. What do we have? The best what?
You're biased because I don't think we had the best version of any quarterback that left here. Jalen Hurts, we didn't get the best of him. We saw a glimpse of it, but we didn't get the best of him. And
we've had some of the best quarterback developers here. Sarkisian, Lane, all these guys went on to be head coaches and successful head coaches.
I even go as far as the first coordinator under Coach Sabin, Applewhite. Wasn't it Applewhite?
No, it was wait, was it Major?
I think he was even before he was
Florida's coach. He was Florida's coach.
Napier.
No, not Napier.
Not Napier. You talking about Jim McElwain?
McElwain, yes. He was a QB developer. He knew how to develop game managers. Yeah. He didn't know how to handle mobile quarterbacks. But game managing quarterbacks, pocket passers, Jim McElwain knew how to develop those guys. It's like, you know what's great about debate? Me and Ty talked about this earlier. You can have a baseline question. Who's a quarterback developer? Well, guess what? Unfortunately for college football and fortunately for college football, there's not one type of quarterback. You have dual threat and you have pocket passers. That's what they get graded as coming out of high school. Who's been developing the mobile quarterbacks the best? Lincoln Riley. Who's been developing the pocket passers and making them create more value? Steve Sarkisian, Lane Kiffin. Like, don't. It's no way around it, bro.
Can I ask this to all the people that deny what coach is saying? Give me one quarterback in the chat that Lincoln Riley has developed that wasn't already a 5-star kid. Give me one. Give me Mac Jones that he developed that's in the league right now. Kyler Murray, Greg Calcaterra, all these kids were highly ranked kids.
But Sean, you naming the successful guys that came under Lincoln Riley, guess what they were? Yeah. Mobile quarterbacks, dual threats coming out of high school. The one traditional quarterback, Spencer Rattler, highest rated quarterback that he recruited, he could not develop him. Spencer Rattler had to go to South Carolina to learn how to trust the pocket and step up in the pocket.
If you take a look at Spencer Rattler's scouting report. You know what the one difference from last year's scouting report to this year's to the 2-year scouting report when he was eligible to go to the NFL draft compared to this one, he can make second to third level throws a lot more consistently.
Right.
Pro level throws. He couldn't make those throws. He couldn't make those throws at Oklahoma. Why? Because he couldn't figure out how to read defenses. How do you come from a high school like Chandler, Arizona? I forgot the coach's name, but you have literally a quarterback guru take a look at the history of the last 20 years of all the Chandler quarterbacks. They all, when they come in, they all know how to read. They all know how to read defenses. And then you come over here to Oklahoma and you reset the boot. Like you hit the reset button and all of a sudden he's looking for the one read. It's a one read simplistic offense that he runs. And as soon as they get to the NFL, they struggle. They tend to struggle out of transition. They tend to struggle when it comes to making that transitional period. It's the one. Everyone is calling Caleb Williams the perfect quarterback prospect, but you look at the knocks against him. It's struggling when he's dropping back because he plays exclusively in a shotgun offense and simplistic offense that's based off of one read concepts. That's it. And unless an NFL offense is centering around a quarterback like that, there's a reason why a lot of these Lincoln Riley quarterbacks just haven't been that successful, unless you're putting them in an offense that they were in college.
Corey Lewis says, "Let people tell it." Yeah, let me get that for you, Corey. Tell them this right here, Corey. Jalen Hurts was a freshman All-America and then an All-SEC player at Alabama. He said himself, "I learned progression from Bama. I learned reading defenses from Bama." All the fundamental things that you would teach any young quarterback, he got built at Alabama. Now, when he went to Oklahoma as a senior, he was in a better scheme that fit him better. Sure, that's not developing him, right? We didn't develop Jameson Williams, right? He got developed at Ohio State. Alabama taught him how to play his position better. He said that himself. He said, Ohio State showed me how to play wide receiver, but Alabama taught me how to get open, right? And remember, they use Jameson Williams a lot. Here's the difference really quickly. Jameson Williams never played at Ohio State. He played spot duty, right? He played spot duty. You can't take credit for something you never used. Jalen Hurts was developed at Bama. He was a freshman All-American at Bama. He played at Bama, right? He got developed at Bama.
He got benched at Bama. Yeah, he had to come in and be a savior at Bama.
So you got our finished product, right? And you reap the rewards off of it. Jameson Williams was a piece of clay that y'all didn't use, that Ohio State never used. He came to Bama, got molded in how to actually get open as a wide receiver, and you're seeing the results right now in the NFL.
David says this, bro, and this is what I want to jump on. Riley has a QB-friendly system. All the Heisman QB he's had, except for Caleb Williams, were transfers.
Say it again.
But the thing is, Caleb Williams was a transfer.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Caleb Williams was a transfer. He made it out of a transfer when Riley was technically the head coach, but he was a transfer. You didn't recruit this guy and say, hey, this is the guy that I'm going to get to commit here. Spencer Rattler was that guy that you had recruited, and you still could not develop him. Spencer Rattler has upped his draft stock for leaving for Oklahoma, leaving Oklahoma for 2 years. That's how he got his draft stock now. He's still going to be second day, third day guy, but he upped his draft stock by leaving your system because your system fits guys like Bryce Young, like Johnny Manziel, like Baker Mayfield that can create plays. They need their legs to create plays. You're not asking them to use their wits and their smarts to drop back and create plays. And what the NFL is becoming 65-45, a 65-45 guys that can create. That's what it's becoming. I hate it, but that's what it's becoming.
Stephen Angle, what did you say, Stephen? Our fault. What did you say, Stephen? Put it back in the chat if you will, brother. We got you covered.
Man, Steve, you better stop crying. Bump that. You better stop crying talking about some, I'll figure it out. You better ask it again. If you really want to answer, you better ask it again. We up tonight. Listen, the contents of this cup will not be identified, but you
put it in the chat, Stephen.
Put it in the chat. Stephen already know. If he really want to answer, he'll put it in the chat. Auntie Jen, I'm trying to make it happen, trying to stay in the right. Oh, yes. KT on point, y'all. I'm telling y'all. Shit, OG. Hey, Carlos, yes, we can be critical of the GOAT. I'll never say the GOAT was the best. But, dude, we were out-coached at times. Facts. We did a substitute early enough at times. Facts. Listen, that's 100% facts, Coach Al. Because there's no way James Brockermeyer was sitting on the bench behind Seth McLaughlin all last year and they get an opportunity. Coach Sean, how much? Coach Jay, how much does Seth McLaughlin weigh? About 285?
285, 290.
Yeah.
James Brockermeyer been 290 for 2 years now. Why did James Brockermeyer not get a shot last year?
Why didn't Earl Little? Earl Little was ready to play, man. Even coach said that.
Why didn't Christian Story go out there for Jalen Key? Why? Man, you get what I'm saying? Like Coach Sabin was really past his time, man. And it's not a bad thing. Coach Sabin used to be able to do that to kids and know that they couldn't go because of the transfer rules back in the day. But now you can't do that. You can't do that. And it wasn't. You're talking about the greatest coach of all time, greatest college football coach of all time, trying to beg a kid to stay at his school so he can coach him. Ain't no way in hell. Coach Sean.
Yes, sir.
You got six. Let's say you coach Freeman of Thompson. You got 10 national championships, high school championships in the state. Are you going to sit there and keep coaching high school kids for $80,000 a year just so they could tell you, Coach, I need to play this position, or if not, I'm gonna go to Glenwood private school. You gonna sit there and hear that?
No, I'm gonna try to bump up. I'm trying to bump up and move on and do something different, especially if I dominate like that. Yeah, it's
10 years. Coach Freeman of Thompson High School. Shout out to him, man. Great dude. 10 years. He's been at either won it or been in the state championship. Thompson High School. Same school came from.
And shout out to Corey. You're right, Corey. Coach Saban. But what we was talking about was Coach Saban's actual first. I know his first season in 2007 was major apple, right? He stayed with him 1 year. But when Coach Saban went on his championship run, that was Jim McElwain. That's what we were saying. But shout out to you, though, Corey. You was right.
Corey Lewis said, and how did Brockermeyer beat out the kid from Washington who was also a starter? Listen, Brockermeyer came in as a 5-star prospect.
He was number one center with his brother.
He was the number one center in that class.
And I was told he was the bigger dog. I was told that he was a bigger dog. But
so
he didn't get no love.
Brockermeyer was forced to add 20, 30 pounds onto his frame from coming in. But also Brockermeyer was forced to be, instead of finesse steel blocker like he did, go check every big run up the middle of the field. Who's sealing that box, either on the first level or the second level?
Love that.
Turning. Love that. And literally putting your butt, like literally turning your butt so you're running back and see.
Yep. Whole facts. I saw that several times.
Coach Sean, I knew you would love that because you're a running back. I knew you would love that. I said, man, I bet Coach Sean down there having a freaking field day.
Loved it, man.
And Jaden Robinson.
You see them boys get up to the second level? Jaden Robinson get to the second level?
Listen, the help on the nose tackle, and then freaking Brockermeyer climbs to the sting, the weak side linebacker, and the running back has the opportunity to play one-on-one with the mic. Oh my God.
Yep.
Imagine that, bro. That's what it's going to be on a consistent basis. Coach Sabin's staffs were so poached that he had to do way too much licking up slack of coaches who were not championship caliber. Golden State 3 years.
You start to see it. You start to see it over the years.
Coach Al.
Every coach wasn't.
Coach Al, stop. No more comments from Coach Al. He's telling the truth too much. Because a lot of people try to put on these players, but we all know what we were up against. For the coaches and the players who know football in the chat, we know Coach J was on to me so much. He was like, man, stop being a fan sometimes. I was like, bro, I can't help it. We got to create content. If I had to be a coach all the time, I'd be fucking negative. Oh, I'm cussing. I'll be freaking negative Nancy every stream because there was so many coaching flaws with this staff, man.
It's a whole fact.
Past year, Coach Sean.
It's a whole fact, bro.
You heard how much Mario Cristobal got played at Miami this past season?
I did.
Yes. $22 million.
Yep.
Coach J, Coach Sean, me and you could have been on that staff and helped them go 6 and 7 made.
Man, all those NFL Hall of Famers that's on that coaching staff.
Yep. Shout out to OG Ephraim.
Taylor coaching the defensive line, and only I think one of them got developed, which was Ruben Bain. And he was. And I don't even know why you can say he was developed.
Coach J, I don't know nothing about kicking, but I would have been on that staff trying to coach the doggone kickers, telling them what they need to do to go, goddamn 6 and 7 or whatever they went. Man, ain't no way.
Well, when you don't kneel the ball with 2 seconds left in the clock, you give Georgia all you had to do was kneel the ball and the game was over. And they somehow, some way decided to run the ball, fumble it, and Georgia recovered it, and then they scored it. When you have that situation going on, unfortunately, that's worth $22 million.
To Coach Al's point, let me remind y'all of this. 2015, I want you to listen to this really quickly. 2015 and 16, I want you to know who was on Coach Sabin's staff that year, these coaches. Coach Sabin was the head coach. Georgia's coach was the defensive coordinator. Ole Miss's coach was the offensive coordinator. Miami's coach was the offensive line coach. Florida's coach was the wide receiver coach. UCLA's offensive coordinator, Tosh Laporte, was some kind of personnel on that team. Burton Burns, who coached with the Giants for years right after he left Bama, was the running backs coach. Who else was on that staff? Man, it was so many. Every coach on that staff was our head coaches now. Head coaches, all of them. Mario went to Oregon.
Mario Cristobal. Did you pay attention to the picture when you come out the elevator at the penthouse at the Westgate?
Yeah.
They literally have that picture.
Right after you get off the elevator. Yep.
The team picture. And you look at it, me and Kyle talked about it one day. And I was like, dang, bro. All but one of those coaches is a head coach at a Power 5 school right now. Not just a head coach, they're at a Power 5 school. That goes to tell you what Coach Sabin was building. And that staff had been together for 4 years.
Yep. Jeremy Pruitt was a GA on that staff. Tennessee,
A GA.
Yep.
Jeremy Pruitt?
Yep.
That's freaking crazy.
Yep. It's crazy. Billy Napier, he coached Mark Cooper and them, wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? Mario Cristobal. People forget Mario Cristobal was an offensive lineman. He was an offensive lineman.
Here we go to primary positions. Here we go. You got Nick Saban, head coach, right?
Yeah.
You got Burton Burns, assistant head coach, running backs. Lane Kiffin, offensive coordinator, quarterback. Bo Davis, D-line. D-line. Freddie Roach wasn't even a name because he played under Bo Davis.
That's a fact.
Come on. Kirby Smart, defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Cristobal.
O-line.
Talking about an offensive mind, an offensive guru as the O-line coach. You made him the O-line coach. Oh, it only gets better. Billy Napier, wide receivers.
Told you Coach Mark Cooper and them that year.
Tosh Lupo, outside linebackers. Tosh ended up being our defensive coordinator for a year. And ended up going away and getting a head coach job.
He's in Oregon now. Yeah. He's a defensive coordinator for Oregon.
Okay, that's
he was in the NFL with the Browns, and then he went to Oregon.
Yeah, listen, I thought he was at UCLA. That's right.
Bobby Williams is in the NFL right now. The tight ends coach Bobby Williams is in the NFL right now.
He was the head coach of Michigan State.
Right. For like 2 years, right? 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And And Scott Cochran was your strength coordinator, your strength and conditioning, and you have Mel Tucker as your assistant head coach.
Yep.
He was just a head coach at Michigan State before he got fired. And I heard buzz, not only Scott Cochran hanging around the program for the past week, Mel Tucker is back hanging around the program and looking for an analyst position. You know what analysts make a year, Coach Sean?
Got a lot of money.
Like 35, 40,000, something like that.
52 max.
52? Yeah, I knew it was somewhere long in there.
He doesn't care. He wants to come to Alabama.
Think about that coaching staff, guys. That's crazy. That's crazy. All these guys took some of the sauce and went and got their own gigs right now. Yep. That's a treat for you right there.
Coach Sean, you know, remember when they showed that little documentary with Sabin and they showed the coaching they called the coaching table, and that was called the big boy table. Then all the analysts had the in the background. Man, that's what he wants to have. He wants to be a part of that group, man. But you know, it's I mean, dude, that staff was loaded, especially. And look,
we didn't even mention Mike Loxley, Maryland, Steve Sarkisian, Texas, Brian Daboll, New York Giants, you know. So
like Daboll was in Mitch's position, like Coach Mitch's position, the quarterback workout person, you know, for Jalen Murray right now. That's what Daboll was during that staff. He was nobody, bro. We have a staff right now. I'm telling y'all, undefeated. All the naysayers, let them know. I am calling Alabama. If we beat Georgia 41-20, like I predicted, anything like that, I guarantee you we go undefeated. We win it all. Coach DeBoer is the most highly sought after head coach after this national championship season. I'm telling you, I feel it. Coach Sean, Coach Jay, I feel it, man. And not being a fan, I'm talking about just football. I look at everything. I'm like, dang, we literally didn't get out of the first paragraph of what this offense is going to display this season. And you see what they had our athletic defense doing. Shout out to Trap Pino Sports. He said we can give Napier an analyst a job when he gets fired. Facts. I'm with it. I seen it. We good.
You seen it? Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Trap Pino. What's up, bro? Oh, I forgot about that too, Al. Jeff Stoutland, offensive line coach, was with the Eagles for years. That's a fact.
You know what? Jeff Stoutland got name. He got them other issues. You know what I'm saying? Coach, I know what I'm talking about. So Jeff Stoutland got them. Jeff Stoutland want to be at the barbecue too much, bro. You got to chill out. Jeff. You're a coach. But listen, y'all. I'm not gonna hold us up longer. Look, I'm happy. We got on a debate. I got a reality to reach for y'all. I need y'all to tell me reality or reach, right? Y'all know what this segment is. Reality to reach is basically I'm gonna make a statement. You tell me if it could really happen, or if I'm reaching because I'm a fan. Reality to reach, and we're gonna knock it down. We're gonna go straight stats, team stats, somewhat individual, but I'm gonna go reality to reach. So last year, reality, Jalen Milroe had 2,900 passing yards for the season. I'm saying reality to reach. Jalen Milroe eclipses the 3,500 passing yard mark, the 30-plus touchdown mark, and he's a Heisman contender, at least top 2. Reality to reach.
You said 35 total touchdowns?
3,500 passing, 35-plus total touchdowns.
Oh, that's reality because that's reality because I think possibly, you know, semifinals or national championship, that's 15, 16 games. You're telling me in 15, 16 games you can't give me 3,500 passing with 35 total touchdowns? Yeah, you should be able to do that. Worst, if he doesn't reach it, then I would say 3,200 yards, about 29 total. That's probably where he's probably might reach it, probably might get at. But no, it's very, very possible. Very, very possible.
Coach Sean.
Yeah, I think he's gonna eclipse that. He had 23 touchdowns last year. We got sacked 40 something times, right? We'll have more games this season, more opportunities, a better offense to fit his skill set. A kid who's going to be experienced now. He's no longer the young kid. I think he has something to prove, and I think he knows it. I think Jalen Milroe is going to have one of those Jaden Daniels type years this year. I really believe that.
All right, another one. Reality versus reach. Running backs. One running back will have over 1K yards. Reality or reach?
Oh, reality.
Yeah, reality. Without a shadow of a doubt.
That's reality. We got the best running game in the country.
Okay. Now, if we had to do it with the amount of talent in that running back room, I said reach. I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because y'all said reality, I'm gonna put my reach in there. I say reach because you have such a deep running back room. I don't think we're gonna have an opportunity to see a Richard Young go off for 300 yards in the game where he should. I think that 300 yards of rushing will be divided up against 3 running backs. You have 3 running backs with close to 100 yards. And because of that, I don't think you have a running back that reaches that 1,000-yard mark. That's the only reason I say a reach. But I don't say it's a reach because of the lack of confidence or the lack of success in the run game, in the running back room. So for 1,000 yards for a running back, I say reach. I think the max we see from a running back, maybe 850, 900, close to 1,000. Close to 1,000. I think it just caps for some reason. That's just my personal take. We looking at the chat. We got a lot of realities. A lot of guys agree with y'all. I would want that. Who would be the 1,000-yard guy to take it another step further? Go ahead, Coach Sean.
I think the fact that Roy Dale had as many yards he did and Jace had 890 on 180 carries on a pass-happy offense. I think one of these backs is it's gonna kind of be like with Mark and Trent, not carry wise, but Mark had 1,000 and Trent had right at 700. Not because they got a lot of carries, because they just made a lot of big runs. Like I think if you look at Trent that year with Mark, he averaged like 7.5 yards a carry. So I do think somebody's going to eclipse 1,000 yards. I really do, and I think the other back is going to have not over 600 or 700, but somewhere around in that vicinity. Because of their big playability.
Think about this for a second, because this has happened. Matter of fact, Alabama's actually done it twice. Alabama for 2 years they've had a situation where they've had over 4,500 yards passing, with 40 total passing touchdowns, and yet they've had running backs. 2 of them almost had two. It's happened twice. So this was 2018 when Josh Jacobs was the third running, but when Josh Jacobs was the third string running back, and somehow it ended up being the first round pick. Najee Harris had 873 yards, and Damian Harris had 1,000. And this is when we had Tua with that RPO based passing scheme with Mike Locksley, and we had 3 receivers, and we had over 4,500 yards passing touchdowns, 40 touchdowns. The following year we did it again. We did it 2 years in a row. So the reason why we did it was because of like what Coach Sean just said, the runs, the amount of big runs that we led the country in 20-yard plus runs.
Right.
The last couple of years that we did in Alabama, we haven't even hit top 100 in the country in terms of 20-yard runs. We haven't hit it. We just haven't been that much explosive in the run game the last 2 to 3 years. So that's one thing I think happened is that
1 second. We got to acknowledge the president when he dip out. The president of the undefeated Patriot Life is going to bed, y'all. So once he starts tapping out, that means it's time to wrap it up. Because he's been listening all day. I guarantee you. He may not be coming, but Patriot Life is probably the number one, if not the supporter. He's the number one supporter of this team, man. And Patriot Life, Rob, man, Jay, I can't wait till you meet some of this family, bro. Jay, I can't wait till you meet some of them in person, bro. It's not even a different vibe. What you feel in the chat. Coach Sean, you was there. What you feel in this chat, the love that you feel in this chat is real, bro. These people rock with us, man. And so when I see comments like this, Patriot Life, my brother Rob said he going to bed, have to acknowledge it, man. He showed up and showed out for the team, bro. He hung out with me. He hung out with us all day at A-Day, right?
Yep.
Then, bro didn't even go to his room and sleep. He was about to go to sleep. Came out to the bowling outside with Coach Smoot, hung with me, and hit the road to go back home. And guess what? He texted me at 5 o'clock that morning, let me know he was straight. I mean, everything. So, hey, Patriot Life, much love, bro. You already know we appreciate you, man. Much love.
Always.
We closed it up. But to Coach Jay's point, Coach Jay, you absolutely right, man. I think our running back room is probably the most secure spot.
Yep.
But if it happens, it would have to be some big games early from Justice, early from Jam. Like I would need, they would have to make 200-300 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like between each other for this to be a reality. Because Gauntlet come, I think we're averaging 65, 70 snaps a game in those gauntlets. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we still stick to that 80 to 80, 85, 87 range of snaps on the offensive side. Maybe we're able to do that, but it's very rare. And this offense has big play scoring ability. I don't know, man. How much
if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna do it, your running backs need to average over 6 yards per carry. They're gonna have to average over 6 yards.
Easy.
I think that can be done, bro. I just do.
I do too.
These backs are different. These backs are different, man.
Bro, the way Daniel Hill was running in the spring game, the way he was
physical.
And we gonna factor in that the defense was trying to protect their brothers, but at the same time, the tenacity of the way he runs, man, you don't deal with that for 40 snaps a game. You don't want to deal with that. Coach Sean, you play running back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir.
How many linebackers did you talk to that was like, bro, just chill
out?
Oh,
you can see it. You can see it. They be all hyped up in the beginning. You can see it. You see the teammates arguing one another. You can see it. You see he stick that little shoulder in there all nice and soft. He ain't coming hard like he was in the first quarter. Oh, you see it. That's what make you stronger too, boy. Yes, sir. You 100% right on that.
So last reality reach. Last year we gave up 47 sacks. 47 sacks. I think
the most in Bama history.
The most in Bama history. 47 sacks. 32 of those were between the first and the fifth game of the season.
That's unacceptable, bro. Man. That's unacceptable.
Reality reach. This offensive line will not allow 30 sacks this season.
Hell no, they're not going to allow 30. I'll go first. They are not going to allow that many sacks this year. Not with this offense. They're not. I'm telling you, we will not give up 30 plus sacks this year for the what, third year straight? Maybe.
No.
I don't think it's gonna happen, man.
I'm gonna say reach. I'm gonna say reach, and I'm gonna say we barely get over. I say 31 or 32 games. I think 31 or 32 sacks. And I'm just saying this because of the amount of games. And there's three teams that I think that we're going to be playing against, which are going to have very, very good front sevens that can get that.
Name them for me.
So Oklahoma's front seven is going to be really good this year.
Okay.
That front seven is going to be really good. I think LSU is going to have a big improvement, especially with Coach Bo Davis kind of coaching that defensive line. They got the athletes to do it. I think that's going to be a big improvement. I'm not going to say Georgia because Georgia, they're not really known for that. They're not, I mean, like I said, they're known for playing on the edge, but that's pretty much about it. If I had to name it, believe it or not, some people are going to call me crazy for saying this. I'm going to say Tennessee. Tennessee's got a very underrated.
No, you're not crazy. That's literally the game where I said, if we don't win in the trenches early, that's the one that we will lose because we're on the road and the trenches is what really kept them in the game last year. We were at home. Joe Milton, he made a lot of horrible mistakes and we were able to capitalize. But their defense was not the problem, bro.
No.
Their defensive front was not the problem. So they're bringing a lot of that core back. And I think that would be the game. But I'm with y'all.
Let me say this, Coach Smook, before you move on.
Go ahead, bro.
This is why I say I don't think we're going to give up a lot of sacks. I ain't going to say half, but maybe half of those sacks that we gave up this year was because Jalen held the ball too long and didn't really and I don't think he's gonna beat. I don't think Jalen's gonna do that this year.
Coach Sean, what's the first thing I hit you up when I was in the press booth? I was like, bro, this man understands the freaking offense. He understands what the play call is. It's not even about making a play. It's about, all right, coach calling this because he wants to see this happen. Does it allow me to make it happen? If not, I'm either using my legs or I'm freaking dumping off. And he did that in the spring game. So, y'all, listen, undefeated. Coach J, Coach Son, we've come to the end of the night. 3 hours, we're here. We hit it. I told y'all I was going to sneak and keep y'all on for my whole segment. I set y'all up. I ain't even going to lie. I set y'all up for the kill. I appreciate y'all. Coach J, Coach Son, I love y'all boys, man. Listen, I got a lot of work to do. I got some cuts to make. You know what's crazy? I'm going to cut this reality versus reach segment because you guys gave some crazy good points. Undefeated. I'm glad y'all were commenting the way y'all were because guess what? I found out how to clip y'all comments at the same time. So Coach Smook is working. We putting in work. The team is putting in work. We're bringing y'all the content. Keep interacting. Keep this engaging, and we're going to appreciate it. I promise you.
But and let me say this before we go, Coach Smook. I want to give love where love is due. We get on your ass a lot, Darius. But you see, you came in tonight talking football, and you made some actually good. You know, we joked around, had a good time. You actually kept it football tonight. I can respect that, bro. I ain't gonna even get on you. I can respect that.
We got a few that come on during the day, but you got a few that at night that they get right. And there's
he kept it football all night.
He's a closet Bama fan. I don't care what he say, you know. And I'm kind of encouraging him to just go ahead and come out. It's nothing to be ashamed of. We win national championships. Georgia just started doing it. I understand if you on that hype train, but we've been doing it for a while, man. We actually got 18 of those things, you know. I mean, I don't know what type of history Georgia has. I think they're at 4, maybe 3 right now. But I mean, we've been doing it, bro. And that's a recent. Like you could put a CD play, you could put a CD in your car, and we've been winning championships that long. So I would appreciate if you just come out the closet, man, and just say Roll Tide one time. It won't hurt you. We'll keep it here. We won't put you on Facebook or Snapchat or anything, Twitter, anything. We won't put you on blast like that. We appreciate you. Hey, Auntie Jen don't like Darius. Auntie Jen do not like them trolls, boy. She do not play by them trolls.
I try to give them love when they talk football. I try to give them love when they talk football.
There's usually try to talk football. I usually get on their skin and make them get out of football, but I appreciate them. You know, I wish AJ Maverick was in here. You know, you know what? AJ has been so quiet. He came in that one day.
Wait till something bad happened. Came in
that one day. Miro went 3-9. Oh, but you ain't talking about his 3-9 for 100 and whatever yards and the 2 drops that he had for sure. He get quiet, dip out. So
yep.
Hopefully your boy can get the call segment too. Hey, listen, undefeated. Don't tell Kyle I said this. My brothers are here. They got my back. Listen, undefeated. When Kyle get on in the morning, tell him Coach Smook need the call segment. Coach Smook with the smoke. Coach Smook with the smoke. Call Coach Smook with the smoke. Hey, if I get reprimanded, oh well. Tell Kyle to give me the call segment, man. We advocate for that, John. Coach Sean, we advocate for that?
Let's do it.
That'd be funny, man.
Let's do it.
Let's
do it, bro.
I know I can handle it, bro. Everybody think I'll be hanging up. No, I would literally have all of the trolls calling in, and it would be straight content, y'all. Straight content. I love it. It's hard to react to your comments. Like Darius says, Auntie Janet, one of my favorite Bama fans. Hey, Darius, I'm gonna tell you this, and this ain't no jokes. We all good right now, but you ever disrespect Auntie Janet, I might come find you. Don't you ever disrespect Auntie Janet again. That's what got you blocked the other day. Don't do that no more. You could be cool. James Richards come in and talk trash to everybody. You better not disrespect nobody, especially Auntie Janet. If you disrespect Auntie Janet, Uncle Jay, Cynthia, who else? One of the OGs in the chat. OG, Gil Cruz. You disrespect them, it's up. It's up. I'm just letting you know. But I'm gonna keep my religion. I'm gonna stay safe, and I'm gonna bow gracefully, y'all, because I gotta go. Like, I'm gonna sign this. And Sean and Jay, when y'all get off the live, please text me. We gotta have a phone call. We're gonna call Ty. We're gonna have a phone call. I mean, like, yeah. I think the Undefeated gonna be happy about this too. I think the Undefeated gonna be happy about this when they get the news about what's happening. Yeah. And shouts out to my guy, if he's in here, if his mom is in here, Amber Kane and Aiden Kane. I'm right here in Atlanta. I've been invited to Dutchtown High School to go check out my boy, see what he doing in that weight room, do what he doing a day in the life of. And we might have that content loaded. If Kyle approves, you know, we'll have it loaded for y'all. You know, get an inside scoop of these recruits' lives and what they do on a day-to-day to continue to create value for themselves. So with that being said, fellas, y'all can end the show. Y'all really good at it. Y'all doing what y'all do. I'm going to buy out. I appreciate y'all for having me on. The contents of this cup shall remain unnamed.
G14.
G14 classified. You already know. Mm-hmm. Hey, Coach Sean, I'm riding through Huntsville Monday. So
I'll be here, dog. Just come on through.
I know you're gonna be there. I'm gonna just have to let them know I'm not gonna be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, come on through. We'll do the live from right here.
And Coach Jay.
Yes, sir.
Get your butt to the south, man. ASAP.
Will y'all tap out?
Let me see. I got it. Great segment tonight. You guys be dropping jewels. I done got knee deep in these bottles, so I'm getting up out of here. Hey, that's my
Shout
boy
to JJ. Shout out to JJ.
Hey, JJ pulled up on me at Full Moon Barbecue.
Yeah.
Was a character, man. He is a character. I'm talking about a clown. Y'all think I'm a clown? We got a lot of characters in this chat, but let me get out of here, y'all. I gotta do what I gotta do. Much love. Roll Tide to the chat. Y'all boys in the screen. Y'all know how to do this, man. I catch up with y'all later.
All right, Coach.
Much love, boys.
Much love, bro. Coach Jay, I sure appreciate you hanging around, man. Thank you for that, brother.
Yes, sir.
Much love to the undefeated. Love you guys to death, man. You guys always tap in. Shout out to my brother, Coach Al, JJ, Nicole, Marquita, K Spray, everybody, man. Everybody, Cynthia Middleton, Janet Forsyth, everybody. You guys are awesome. Carla, everybody, man. Thank you guys. Roll Tide to you, man. Shout out to him, Jared.
Yes, sir, man. Like I said, shout out to the rest of the undefeated chat. You guys know that I will be around. You guys, I think we got the regular schedule tomorrow. If not, then we probably we'll kind of see what happens. Hopefully, the transfer portal news gets a little bit better. It's been boring. Transfer portal circuit has been boring, so hopefully that gets up a little bit more. But you guys know usual suspects. And we'll be back with more content a little bit later on. So definitely catch us on tomorrow.
Roll Tide, everybody.
All right, Roll Tide.
All right, Coach Jay.
All right.